What's up, guys? I'm like Harry, look at me, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spawncast, episode 303. We actually had a lot of stuff happen this week, so there's quite a bit to go over. Joining me tonight, a nice crew here, we got Max, Dreamcast guy. How you doing, Max?
Good. Sleepless. I beat every game that came out this week, which means I have not slept much.
There's a lot of stuff that came out this week.
Yes, I beat Forspoken. That took a long time. Then I beat Dead Space. That took a long time. And then I've been playing a bunch of Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. We have MVG.
Hello, it's great to be here. I beat Plague Tale Requiem this week. I beat Crisis Core, so I'm catching up on the backlog.
Crisis Core,
Yeah, I liked it. Good game. And
fantastic game.
And GoldenEye, of course, and Dead Space. Big week in games for me this week.
What? Shouldn't have Forspoken. It's alright.
No,
we got Evan. Evan's here.
Yep.
Evan working on that channel. I see it, Evan. I see it over there. I see it over there.
I watched. I have no idea what the hell is happening. I am confused as hell.
That's what I do.
Is there a way to like understand it more, or is there like a guide?
I like the editing though.
I'm slowly putting out a bunch of videos in a guide format for the game, but you know, one guy, highly edited. It's not.
It's really good. It's really good editing. I mean, that's what I'm watching.
Evan, do you have any haters in the chat in the comments yet?
Not yet.
Actually,
I did have a guy point out that I missed a rule, and I mean, I actually am fine with that because it's got to remember it going forward.
You gonna do any like time-lapse painting tutorials?
Maybe.
Sure that, like painting it really fast. That'd be cool.
I just bought a rig, which sucks because like you get all like stuff that you already have and the things you've worked on, and it's like, man, I didn't record any of this properly. So.
You should break out the webcam, just record it for a couple hours, turn it into like a 6-minute thing.
No,
I love those videos.
Dude, Evan is like more creative than all of us combined.
I know.
I mean, I can tell you this. you this day.
My bank account does not reflect it.
just do that with like some lo-fi music with it, and you just kind of watch it come together. That would be
Death
cool.
metal,
'Cause I'm
death
not
metal all the
gonna
time.
paint it. I'm not gonna paint it, but I'll watch someone else paint it if it looks cool. Let's see. We got OJ Playersons here.
I just want to say that the N64 is disqualified from the GOAT conversation. It's
Whoa,
today,
whoa,
this week,
whoa.
it's disqualified, and
Jeez.
GoldenEye's release proves it, and I will tell you guys why when we talk about it. Disqualified.
Okay.
Like LeBron James, disqualified from the GOAT conversation. Well, he's not. I'm just joking around. But yeah.
So we got Nate. Nate's here.
Yeah, enjoying quality gaming this week.
I thought you were playing GoldenEye.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
The hate. The GoldenEye, the single stick setup on a dual analog controller. Okay.
It feels terrible.
Well, why would it feel terrible? N64 is fantastic.
Everything's on the left side. Playing it with the normal thing.
What's the problem here?
Stop throwing my own words in my face. I still love the Nintendo 64, but they could have programmed this in a way that wasn't ass.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. Disrespect. Right, what's going on over here? Damn.
So this week we did have the Xbox Direct, had a bunch of games released. So there is quite a bit to go over here. But do we want to start with a Discord question, Evan?
All right. What do you think will be the next Resident Evil remake?
The next?
Yeah, it should be Code Veronica.
Code Veronica.
Yeah, I do sincerely think it's going to be Code Veronica, and then I think we're going to get Resident Evil 9 and then Resident Evil 5 remake.
They're going to do Resident Evil 5. They're just going to skip Code Veronica.
Probably.
I just don't think they will. I think that they're going to completely redo Code Veronica, because it's a part of the timeline, but it's a really weird game.
What if they did Zero?
I think Zero is really hated. I just think that it is. They did the remaster of it recently, like just a couple of years ago, that I think fixed the controls a lot. But Zero is really, really, really hated.
But do you think they would
the
pick it up?
backtracking and stuff.
But do you think they would pick it up as a way to be like, let's fix this?
And
Yeah.
Redemption Arc.
Well, if they did, I think they should make it co-op, because that one of the main criticisms people have is that in Zero you played two different characters, Rebecca Chambers and Billy, the convict, and you had to keep switching between them. So doing one puzzle as yourself, handing a puzzle piece back and forth, was a pain in the ass. If they made it actually co-op, I would love to see a remake of that.
Okay, you have another one, Evan?
Thoughts on The Last of Us show on HBO?
Extremely good.
I mean, we're what, 2 episodes in? I thought it's been pretty good. The ending of the last episode was a little strange.
Oh, you know, like zombie kisses? What the?
That part. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, I guess. I think I liked the game's adaptation of that character. I'll say, their exit is what I'll say. I think I like the game's adaptation of that exit as opposed to the show's.
Well, they said, because I've been watching the like making of each episode, and they said that like in the game the military is much more present, but they thought that it didn't make sense in a TV show. Like if they're running from zombies, that makes sense, but if you're running from the military that have like helicopters and bombs, they would catch up to you in 10 minutes.
Holy shit, guys.
They do pull from things like.
Tate, if this is you, what's up, Tate? What's up? What's up, guys?
Relates to the theme of the episode. They do a good job with that. So I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes, but they still have the rest of the season to go. So we'll see.
Now season 2. Season 2 is confirmed.
Yeah, that'll be that. I want to see that. I gotta see how that gets received. But we will see. We will see. Let's see. What do we want to start with tonight? We can start with GoldenEye.
Rip the Band-Aid off, John. Let's
To start with GoldenEye.
Guys, I'm drinking a Diet Coke.
From the 64, it released onto the Switch and onto the Xbox. And well, it's got mixed receptions online. We needed to break out a diagram on how to play it on the Switch, but the controls are weird on the Switch, and the visuals and stuttering on the Xbox don't make any sense. So it is as MEG said, a mess. It's on his channel. It's in the title. GoldenEye 007 is a mess.
Yep.
Nate loves it though.
It's still a good game.
Sean lost his mind on camera over it, and Nate's like, "That's good."
told us about your love life, Nate.
That's all I'm saying.
You've told us about your love life, Nate. We know you're attracted to messes. Come on.
Damn. We couldn't even get Sean to play online at all. And what did he do? All he did was talk about the online for GoldenEye for weeks building up to this. And as soon as I think he's played this game for all of 10 minutes.
Yeah, long enough to get footage.
The controls, I think immediately he's out.
He died playing, like, he died on the second or third
First guy.
enemy in the level, and then he like
Yeah.
rage quit.
I will say this: these people that have been shilling the N64. I'm here to troll you guys tonight. You guys have been talking about how great N64 was better than GameCube. GameCube, all you need to do is just put it. You can't mess up the controls. If it's the same exact controls, you can go back
Really?
and play.
How are those GameCube games controlling on the Switch?
They're not there, but that's okay. The point
Wait, Mario
is-
Sunshine's just
That's
fine.
okay.
I hear
The
Sunshine's
point
not bad.
is, the point is that you guys have nostalgia goggles on, and when you go back and you play it the same way that it was played back then, even if you have an N64 controller,
It plays
you guys,
beautifully.
you don't like it. No, I'm not saying you, Nate. I'm
It plays
saying
beautifully.
Sean, and I'm
Sean
saying
didn't use the N64 controller. That's
all
the
you guys
problem.
can play. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. He doesn't like. He wants it to control like Call of Duty. That's what he wants it to control.
And it does. That's the weird thing. It's the controls on Xbox are great.
That's what I'm saying. He wants it, and it's rose tinted. These controls, the games are not that fantastic. You guys have exposed yourselves because the N64 right now. Look at this. You guys are all upset. This is one of the greatest games, right?
Right
Why are you so
now,
upset?
right now, the way Sean reacted to GoldenEye, if he was to play Metroid Prime with a GameCube controller, he'd say,
Yeah.
why doesn't the other analog stick move the gun?
No, because it has a lock on. No, because it has a lock.
I don't know. I made a video today saying they ruined GoldenEye because I played it on Xbox and I played it on Switch, and I feel like both versions have problems. I feel like MVG's technical breakdown. I watched your video this morning, MVG, and it's great. Just showing the fact that textures are there's gaps in the environment and stuff. Character models are not loading properly. Like, no matter where you play this doesn't feel correct. Something feels off.
So, and I never really said this in my video, but I actually think the Switch version is the better version
Correct.
of the two, even with the controls. So now for me, I'm fine with the controls because I grew up playing an N64. I'm good with the control system. Even on the Switch with the Joy-Cons, I know how to play the game, but the difficulty in recommending the Switch version out of the box is, you know, if you load it up and you haven't really experienced those types of controls before, you're gonna just be like, how do I play this game? And I think that's the difficult part. I mean, you can go in and configure it and change things around and get a decent control scheme out of it. But I think the point is, for me, and really this is the only real criticism I have with the NSO version, which I think is the better version because it's more accurate, it's more faithful to the original game. But I think they should have just baked in a default control system where it's like, you know, anyone that's a random or just a casual can play this game, but at least start figuring out how to move around in the game. It's the only thing I really have a criticism about on the Switch version. The video that I made today was really more about the Xbox version, which I think, honestly, is, again, it's a bit of a mess, right? There's just a bunch of small niggling issues, and it compounds it so.
It doesn't matter. If I die, I die. So
Wasn't
You know, other people like to have some too.
a big enough budget at the end of the day. I think they just did the
I'll just buy my own.
door next.
I'll just buy my own next time. It doesn't matter.
Spend a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a shame because that remake, if that remake didn't leak, and
Guys, holy crap, guys, look at, I smothered this shit in hot sauce.
get that.
Well, 60 frames without any issues. So I just wonder, why didn't we get that? But again, I think it goes back to, I believe they wanted to balance these releases and have some type of parity between them where, no one version could excel in areas where the other one couldn't. In other words, one couldn't be 60 frames and the other one be 30. Like, I feel like there was a conscious decision made, and I don't know why.
Code Mystics went to Twitter and they said they could have done 60, but when they had it running at 60, it introduced a number of problems.
You think like screen tearing or something like that, or something more?
Wonder if
along the line
animations
with
were tied to it.
The animations
It
of the
could
launch.
be the animation. They didn't go into any extra detail as to what the problems were. But if their default was to go to 30 FPS over 60, there was a reason behind it. So, I mean, I would defer to their expertise on the matter. They were the developers behind the project, so whatever reasoning there was for it to be done, there seems as though there was a reason. And I don't think like Nintendo had any say in of we need parity between these releases.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that'd be the case. Otherwise, it wouldn't even have attempted or advertised like high resolution or 4K or any of that.
I mean,
Is that 30 frames? It's at,
no, you.
30?
No, you're probably right in what you
yeah,
say,
it's
but
30.
then the question is, well, why didn't they get the source code from the the unreleased XBLA version at that point and start using that?
Well, I mean, I think that introduces a kind of a different ripple to the conversation of if you did have the unreleased XBLA version and you still needed Nintendo's permission for this release to even happen, Nintendo could have looked at that and said, we're not giving permission to that. Because that also would then add another layer where how would they add the XBLA version to Switch? It would have to be a standalone release.
Yeah,
Which
it would
means-
not be with NSO. That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when that happens, would that mean Microsoft is publishing that release?
Well, that's. I mean, you would think so. You would think they would be. Yeah.
So now all of a sudden Nintendo's going to approve a version that would be a standalone release, not only on Xbox, but also Switch, where Microsoft would potentially be publishing it, and they're going to make the majority of the money. Whereas what we ended up, the solution is, this is going to Game Pass and Rare Replay, and it's going to NSO. There is no standalone version. No one can buy it. There is no extra revenue exchanging hands in this case. Whatever deal was struck, this is the money between the parties involved, and that's all there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, at least it exists. I will say that on modern platforms, but it's like, what could have been with this if everyone was fine and could agree on basically money?
I'm still enjoying it. Like I beat it on the Xbox and I'm going through it on the Switch now.
It's a lot. Isn't it easy with that? I will say the dual analog setup makes it incredibly easy. Like you were just,
It almost
just
feels
destroying
a
everyone.
little off to me. You know what I mean? Like it's not really meant for that type of control
No, the
system.
auto aim is crazy
Yeah.
as it is on it. So I guess if
Exactly.
you turn that off, it would make it harder. You have auto aim on, and you have both analog sticks rolling. It's
Yeah.
you just roll through everyone. It's pretty hilarious because even like the second level, like the enemies just keep coming. You can pile up enemies in like the hallway because
Yeah.
you just mow them down constantly.
I wasn't
I do
even
that
strafing
right now.
mine. I was just going through them.
Yeah, it's like
Crazy.
it's like I feel like an auto headshots. Everyone takes one hit, they die anyways.
That's
They
pretty
turn
funny.
so slow that NPCs are like, "Oh no, it's James Bond." Oh.
And the online is great too because you can still screen look at everyone, so it's funny. It is like the old days for that. Someone said, look, I saw online. Someone said you can make it so it's only one screen. You just got to use the zoom feature. Yeah, it's like why would you do that? Why wouldn't you screen look?
You'd have to have like a pact with everybody else, like, hey guys, you're all zooming in.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I would lie.
Once someone starts losing, they're zooming right out.
Oh yeah.
That's not happening. Yeah, we have diagrams and charts to set up your controls on the Switch. That's there. It's like a 8-step process and bar graphs and charts and stuff. I thought we didn't like that for Anthem, but it's fine for the Switch and setting up the
That's hyperbole.
controls.
That's hyperbole.
Hey, all I know is apparently you can take the right Joy-Con and the left Joy-Con and just switch hands. In handheld mode too, you just need some duct tape.
It simplifies the controller swap. You put it on 2.4 in the game settings. You use.
Oh, we're bringing decimals into this. Okay.
You then swap the Joy-Cons into the opposite hand, and it controls exactly like having two N64 controllers in your hand, like back in 1997.
Psycho.
You can do that if you want to replicate that. You can also buy two N64 controllers from Nintendo and do it, or you can use two Pro controllers. However you want to do it.
I synced up the Xbox controller and it just worked on the Xbox. It was weird.
There's never been.
How's the online on that game?
There's never been two Nintendo 64 controllers in the same room. It's
Has anybody been able to ever buy it?
It's impossible.
Let me tell you how I got this one real quick, guys, alright? So I went on there, for some reason it was not letting me buy it, and I was like, whatever, and I clicked off anything. Next thing you know, I got an email saying, hey, you got an N64 controller coming. I'm like, wait, what? Nothing even went through. So even this controller was on accident.
I think my biggest gripe is the fact that it's the peer-to-peer where you're doing the online, because we did a couple online matches, me, Spawnwave, Nate, and MVG, and it was going great until slow-ass Nate joined, and it bogged it down
Because
to a
it
fucking...
connected to the wrong signal on my router. It went to the slower one. If it went to the faster one, it would have been fine. But all of you quit after I win the one match I was there for.
Yeah, you won a match while it was like this, you're like,
I have footage of Nate just shooting a wall.
Same.
And then you died. I'm the only one who had more than one kill, and I won.
I have footage of MVG aiming a rocket at his feet and pulling the trigger.
Yeah, man. I did do that. I was just
He wanted out so much.
He's like, yeah, let me out.
That was it's a shame.
The multiplayer is janky as fuck, but it's still really fun to play. Like, if you have a good connection, I can definitely have.
Or if you have the Xbox version, you have people like that would come over and play. That's probably the best experience. Yeah. Well, there you go. GoldenEye is like kind of out. It's just it's two pieces that need to fuse together, and it'll be good.
It's qualified.
But it's never happening. In fact, probably in a couple of years, though, it'll just get taken away.
Yeah,
and then
they'll
we'll be
just-
like, oh, they took it away. And we'll reminisce and be nostalgic about that release. And it'll be
No. So what's going to happen is they're going to take it away. People are going to be outraged about it, and then a couple of years later, no one's going to remember it. No one's going to care. And then 5 years after that, people are going to be like, "Damn, I wish we had GoldenEye again," and the cycle will just repeat itself.
Maybe that's when they drop the remake and clean up.
Yeah, they're gonna dead space it.
Dude, that remake doesn't exist. You never saw it.
No, they do pretend like it didn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Someone needs to ask someone in an interview about that. Someone at Microsoft, someone at Nintendo. Just drop the question on them out of nowhere.
Rare's kind of talked about it in the last couple of years.
They
said
have.
it was done. Someone higher up within Nintendo said, no, it's not coming out. And that was the end of it. They didn't write
So
me.
the next
They didn't
the
name
next
who at
Treehouse,
Nintendo killed it.
the next
but they didn't
Treehouse
lie.
about Zelda. You just need to drop the question midway.
Careful, Nate. Nintendo Life is listening. They may run a story on that.
It's already out there. You can find it online. You can Google it.
You said it. You said it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking Pikmin
Make
4
that.
at Treehouse with Miyamoto, and you're halfway through, and just the GoldenEye remake though. Let's
He'd look at
shift
you
to
and
that.
say, what are you talking about?
Never get another interview again after that.
Yeah, true.
I'm not supposed to be there in the first place. Why did they let me in?
It's when Miyamoto escorts you out back and they beat the living shit out of you.
You see, his bodyguards are actually kind of intimidating, though. You do be rolling around with some pretty.
I mean, you pretty much have to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a big old. I don't remember what year was it. E3 2014 or 15 had like a little area that was like closed off for like I guess it was like children to go like play like E3 or whatever. Like it was like the executives' kids and stuff like that. And like Miyamoto was there, but they're talking. Yeah, and there was like this big old dude that was just standing there. I'm like, oh my god, yo, this is crazy. I was like, hey, what's going on back there? He just looked at me like, leave. I was like, all right, that's cool.
You gotta hire the
Wow.
security, yeah.
I just asked what's going on. I wasn't trying to go back there. Damn.
So GoldenEye is that. Hey, if anything, if you already have a subscription, it's a nice benefit to the subscription. So there
I
you go.
mean, it's still worth checking out. It's still
Yep.
GoldenEye.
Yep, you can check it out. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
Should have won for GoldenEye. I'm sure it's deliberate on everyone's part. Do you think it's weird how you can't purchase GoldenEye digitally anywhere?
Yeah, it's definitely deliberate.
Yeah.
It's deliberate.
You can't add it to the physical copy of Rare Replay because you can buy that physically. So they can't turn it off on you then, I guess. So
You don't own it. You have access to play the game.
Yeah, basically.
This will be nothing more than a fleeting memory.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
next major upgrade would you like to see to controllers?
Upgrade.
I'd like a Sony controller with good battery life.
I was going to say the same thing. A Sony controller that has replaceable batteries and has good battery life.
This is I did a video about it. This is the new controller. I tested it. It's about a 4.5 hour battery life. I've realized this is $200. I've realized I would pay $200 for just a controller with like a 40-hour battery life.
Yeah, I guess battery life for Sony is their biggest thing. They've never really had a good battery life either. For their controller.
I swear, maybe I'm misremembering, but I swear that the PS4 had a 15-hour battery life. I thought.
We used to make fun of that battery too, though.
I've never caught 15 hours on it.
We used to make fun of the
Yeah,
PS4
same.
battery all the time.
Once they did the dimmer patch, I thought they did, but I could also.
I mean, I think it varies on the game, but Last of Us Part 2 for some reason just eats the battery. I charged it multiple times in like my 20-something hour. I think I played the game for about 20 hours, and it definitely had to hit the charge at least 3 times, at least minimum 3 or 4 times. But like I said, that's just me. It could be different for other people based off of, I don't know, variety of factors.
We're getting used to, like, the Xbox Elite controller has a 35 to 40 hour. The Switch Pro controller has like a 40 hour, and now we're talking about this PlayStation controller. It's like 4 to 5 hours. It's like
It's insane.
If we can use like some of the cool third-party controllers on Sony's, like they don't have like support for like the 8BitO stuff, you know? Like at least I don't think they do. I know there's some, but it'd be nice because then you can just say, okay, well at least I can just use this controller for it, you know?
What's a Xbox controller with just regular batteries? What do you get?
25 hours.
Yeah, that's about right.
For 2 AA's, yeah. So that's manageable. Basically, it's the point where you can play multiple times, multiple settings, and not think about your batteries. That's where I'd like Sony to get to. But it was always next generation.
I feel like the charge for my Xbox and for my Switch controller, like whenever I see that your battery.
I want to mention the idea of like temperature in your controller where it can get cold or hot. That sounds like there's a lot of things that go wrong with that one. And we're trying to come up with different ways to, I guess, make it more immersive. But I feel like the advanced rumble is, combined with speaker, is almost already kind of there. Like the DualSense does feel very alive for the 5 hours that it's alive.
You got a touchpad. I mean, they've already added a lot of tech into the controller, right? Like the touchpad, the haptic feedback, all that stuff, the pressure-sensitive triggers. I mean, that's enough right there that they can kind of reiterate on that. So that's already enough pretty cool, new, maybe not, super new, but still new in the sense of like it hasn't been done exactly like how Sony's doing it, so that's good enough.
The bigger problem is probably that a lot of these controllers, especially the DualSense, it has haptic, it has all those features, but so few games actually utilize them in a meaningful way. And then you have the Xbox controller, which really doesn't have that many features, which people would love for it to have gyro, haptics, and those types of features. Then you have like the Switch controller, you would love it to have digital rear buttons similar to
analog.
Yeah, analog. They have digital now. So it's like every controller for every company you could look at and say, I would love to have this feature enabled on the controller. And then you have the PlayStation 5 controller, which has a lot of the features we want. You just don't see them utilized to their fullest.
And it's because they all need to be mostly in parity for the third parties to actually develop for them. Otherwise, you need to get a timed exclusive or just an exclusive that goes all in on it.
But sometimes even first-party stuff doesn't even use it. Not that it matters too much, but like Fire Emblem Engage, like there's like almost no usage of the HD Rumble or anything like that.
That's the thing. I'll give Sony, like Returnal uses that DualSense like crazy. So you do get some of these first parties from Sony at least, but they kind of have to because they have to. That's like the most next gen thing they have right now with their PS5. Because otherwise, it's like the visuals are better, the frame rate's better.
Gosh, Returnal. I was playing that so much and it just cooked.
That melts the DualSense.
Yeah, I have to turn it off. I love the dual, but I'm like, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah.
Like that, because I was playing that game at least like 5-6 hours later. I was getting my ass handed to me all the time.
So I do want to keep that in mind though, Nate, for a game we're going to talk about that Xbox controller. Because there was something I noticed with it.
There was haptics with that game. Oh my god.
Let's actually move to that Xbox Developer Direct. We're going to talk about the Developer Direct, then we can talk about Hi-Fi Rush. I wanted to kind of keep them a bit separate. Because the Developer Direct, alright, so they announced it. I don't know if I'm still on board with the name, although it makes more sense now after seeing the presentation. Because they just went to each studio and had developers talk directly to the viewer. So okay, that makes sense. Minecraft Legends, that was first up, coming out April 18th. I don't know if this is a game for me. But if I was really into Minecraft, I'd probably love what I'm seeing. This is great, I'm gonna jump into it, but I kind of saw it and I said, oh, that's fine, I guess, for Minecraft. It at least looks different than just Minecraft. So it kind of has that RTS style to it, based
Oh,
on
you're
building
too
tower
nice.
defense.
Just admit it. None of us are into that.
I don't think any
anymore.
of us are interested in Minecraft Legends, but I can't sit here and say it's not gonna. It's gonna go out, and you know it's gonna jump to like the top of the charts because it's Minecraft.
It's gonna do well.
I don't know.
I'm just not. I'm not. I was already old when that wave, Minecraft hit. I was already well past it, so I just never got into it. Tried to play with my daughter, and I was just like, I can't do it. I just let her play around with it.
I have to at least recognize that it's gonna draw a lot of attention, or at least in general, and have a lot of downloads, and probably go up to Xbox charts like Grounded did. wasn't really into Grounded, but it was what, number 3 or something on the Xbox charts.
What
At one point.
was the other Minecraft game that came out recently? Or
Dungeons.
yeah, I played that, and it's cool. It's just It's like,
You want to recognize Fransby, becoming a new member. Thank you, Fransby. Let's see.
Bransby.
Then we did have, after that, Forza Motorsport 2023. No release date. That is a shame. In fact, I was so close to giving this like top grades across the board, and then they flashed 2023 for Forza, and I was like, they show up to a showcase where everyone's giving dates for their games, and it's still 2023. And it sounds like this game's coming out second half. Like it's.
So,
Well, I mean,
so
that was
Nate last week hinted that it may not get a date. What did
We
you say
said
last
a
week,
month,
Nate?
or we said a month ago Forza might come out. Now, remember, Sean said like a month ago that Forza.
Run the video. What did you say last week? What was your quote that you said?
At the end of the show, saying we might have an Xbox reaction when only came back in with the 2023 date, meaning it has been delayed outside of the first half of the year.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know that.
And I mean, that's why they're not assigning it a date yet. They're still trying to find a slot for it in the upcoming schedule in the second half of the year. But as MVG and I discussed in our reaction episode, I don't think this negatively hurts Microsoft because
it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal.
it isn't, and it can benefit them in a way that if June is the month Starfield lands, the Forza delay makes a lot more sense.
June coming in September. It's coming in September. June.
Well, even now with Redfall, like Redfall being May, like Microsoft last year had like nothing. So the fact that they already dropped the game, and then even if we have to wait 3 months or 4 months, whatever, that's fine. That at least there's a solid, somewhat flow of games. So to me, it's like that's why I don't think it even matters. Even like if Starfield was maybe a little bit later, maybe that's like September. That's also fine too. They can just drop Forza at the end of the year. That's 4 good, solid games for the year, which is significantly better than last year, obviously. So I don't
I
I'm
think
not
that was
a big racing
their
guy, but-
that was their target. I think when they get everything spun up was a good game per quarter, or a big release for them per quarter, and that would kind of fit into it then, because I mean, even if Hi-Fi Rush and then Minecraft and then Redfall,
Minecraft's April, right?
Forza,
Minecraft's
Starfield. I mean. I don't know if they had something else, but they could. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush came out of nowhere, so it's possible. But I will admit, I was kind of hoping Forza would be sooner rather than the second half of the year, just because when they showed it, it looks pretty good. Like, technically speaking, it is an impressive looking game. And the problem we're running into now is these streams, for anyone really, does not do the game justice, because we're seeing games that are like native 4K, ray tracing, all those things, and it comes through this crushed, compressed 1080p YouTube stream, and it still doesn't look great until you go and look at the 4K footage that they upload, and then it's like, okay, this is what it was supposed to have looked like. But I understand not everyone's going to go do that. Forza looks incredible, visually speaking. I am like shocked at how good it looks. 4K, 60 ray tracing enabled, all of that. It's an impressive racing game. It's obviously more towards the simulation side of things, so people who have like the big chair set up with the racing wheels probably love what they're seeing. So there's apparently a campaign. They talked about it for 5 seconds. So
I didn't even catch that.
yeah, at the end, hey, there's a single player campaign. All right,
Anyways,
that was it.
next
That was
game.
it. Yeah, so hey, it's still Forza. Looks good. Looks like it's gonna be a good time. So I guess we'll see when that ends up releasing. What do you think, Nate? I mean, you said they don't have it set up yet. I think August sounds nice. I think that's a good.
Bro, holy shit, we have 2 people here. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Guys in games land. At the absolute latest, I would go first half
We
of
got
October.
Horizon 5 in November. If I remember right, yeah, because then Halo
Yeah,
followed
it
up
was
the
a week
following month.
before the Halo multiplayer release.
Yep. So I don't think it's gonna. That seems really late for Forza Motorsport. Like November. I'd be
Yeah,
surprised if it went that
thinking-
far.
I'm thinking late summer, very beginning of fall.
That sounds right. I'm gonna move over to Elder Scrolls Online Necrom. It's launching in June. It's an expansion.
Cool, next.
I don't play Elder Scrolls Online, and then they were like, here's all the downloadable content you can just get now. It's like 20 pieces, and I'm like, that seems like I'm not gonna catch up. So that's the end of that.
I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Elder Scrolls Online, where they say you can play it as a single-player game. You don't have to do it as a MMO part. You can just enjoy it as though it is a never-ending Elder Scrolls game if you want. And for them to give you that amount of content, and just the visual fidelity of the game is very impressive. It's such a time sink. I don't have that many hours left in my life.
Yeah,
Mine to put into a game.
I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything. It's not something that's the thing with MMOs. They build up so much content that you have to dedicate basically everything to it to get caught up for you to feel relevant in the game.
I put like 100 hours into it, and I felt like I barely did the tutorial. The game is almost too big.
Then we did have Redfall. That is coming out May 2nd. That we kind of knew that from the rumors. People seem split on this game. I noticed online, some people were like, "This looks great." Other people were like, "What? This game looks terrible." I think people are still viewing it as Left 4 Dead, which is weird because it definitely is now coming off as that Far Cry experience they were attempting to describe to us in that article. It's still it's Arcane Austin. They did Prey. They did Dishonored.
They never made a bad game.
Yeah, I know. That's right. I'm on board with this to at least try it when it comes out. It looks like it's that multiplayer experience. As much as they want to say you can play through a single player, this looks like a multiplayer game where you want to have some people with you.
Does, but I will say that let's not sleep on the single player stuff too, because there's a lot of stealth. Like they showed stealth parts and all that, and obviously you're not going to be able to do that with multiplayer. So I think if the stealth is very well implemented, I think that the single player could be a bit better. I do agree with you though, John. Like it is more of a multiplayer experience. It's probably going to be more fun that way. But some of that stealth stuff looks really cool.
I'm actually intrigued by the single player aspect of the game. I can see myself playing this solo, but then also getting a group of friends together to attack some of it in co-op, and I think the Direct demonstrated the strengths of both of these modes for the game, because there was a lot of uncertainty about the game leading up to the Developer Direct, and I think Arcane and Microsoft did the best they could to explain the game in a cohesive manner and to show gameplay to illustrate the focus of the title and just the aesthetic, the gameplay, the in-game mechanics that they showcase with the skill tree, how the looting, and I can't wait for May 2nd. The game is now on my radar and I want to play it, and up till this week I definitely had my hesitations about the title, but right now I'm going in with optimism, and
I'm
really
curious
looking forward.
I'm curious how the skill tree and the progression works. I don't know if you're getting experience like that and then you jump your skill tree, you accumulate experience as you do missions and other things. So I think there's still a lot they have to go into, and that's the problem. I feel like this is a difficult game to just showcase in 5 minutes. It feels like they want to keep telling us about it, but they're like, we just don't have enough time. So we'll see you in, I'm sure, another video that'll follow up, and then another one, and then another one. So I think there's still a long road for the promotion.
Remember how many times we saw Deathloop?
Yeah.
That's sick of it. You know what I mean? And when the game came out, it was received very, very well.
good game,
So, and I don't think there's any issue with telling people over and over again what it's all about. But I also understand, that it still has a Left 4 Dead vibe to it, right? Even though it's not a Left 4 Dead style game at all.
Kinda does, yeah.
It just has that kind of feel to it,
I think it's the enemy selection as well.
Yeah.
And
Plus
that,
vampires and all that stuff.
Because it sounds like we are going to clear out the island and eventually save Redfall. So I'm kind of curious, like if 3 of us teamed up and burned through that game in like a weekend, I wonder if there's like some sort of end-game quests or bosses, or if it is going to be like Far Cry, and once the guy's dead, the villain's dead, it's just over. I'm kind of curious if they add on to the city later with DLC or something.
Oh,
like,
I think they
you know,
definitely will. Yeah.
I'm just curious to see how progression is going to work at the later stages of the story.
I could kind of see this being like Arcane Sea of Thieves almost, where we're just going to see content added to it consistently for potentially years, even if it's successful, because they're still looking for ways for engagement and monthly active users, and that's one of the best ways to keep people having a subscription with Game Pass is you have games just continue to go on and on and on. So I see that as Redfall. I'm at least curious about it to see how a lot of the mechanics and everything works. So looking forward to May 2nd when that releases. But probably this, I mean, I guess the highlight, the star of the show is definitely a game that we heard about this game going into it, but we just heard the title. We didn't really know what it necessarily was, especially the visual style, everything around the game in terms of the mechanics. Hi-Fi Rush gets announced, and then they shadow drop the game. Hey, it's available an hour after. It was maybe less than an hour, because I feel like people were... And I heard that. I was like, oh, rhythm game? I don't know. And then I see it, and they're talking about it, and I'm like, this looks like a Saturday morning cartoon with a slight anime twist to it, and then you play it, and they're like, oh yeah, all your actions land on the beat automatically, but if you're able to time the beat yourself, you get benefits and advantages and harder hits and all this stuff.
It nails every single one of those notes. This game was a pure project of love, and you can tell through just the gameplay, the music, the animation, and the way it transitions from the animated sequences to the game is just so seamless. It's
I want to buy a deluxe edition for my collection. It reminds me, it feels like, to me it felt like Guitar Hero and Jet Set Radio had a baby.
Yeah, because it was definitely Jet Set Radio vibes to it.
Like the soundtrack, the amount of custom songs that they made for the thing that just feels so good. And one of my favorite things about Jet Set Radio Future was how the characters would dance when you weren't doing stuff, and the main character does that where he's always snapping to the rhythm.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yes, me and my friends used to all the time do the Jet Set Radio dances as a joke. So I don't know, the fact that he does that is like so cool. The whole universe dances,
And it does that, it does thing where he's snapping, it says snap above his hand.
Guys, you know, like low key.
Vibe to it. And it is, parts of it are pretty corny, but it plays it.
Like low key, guys, dead ass. Guys, I'm gonna kill myself. Bro, really? Like, it's so cringe. Like, look at this crap, guys. Like, if I see one more freaking anime girl that's like sexual or some shit, bro, I'm so sick of this. It's cringe. And no one thinks, no one wants to give you attention. It's just cringe. Because this is all you see all over social media is this shit. And I'm getting sick of it. No one thinks you're cute. Okay? No one thinks you're cute. Guys.
I think I put 6 hours into it.
Yeah, I don't think it's an incredibly long game. It's a $30 title outright, but it's a fun game, and I didn't think it'd be that into like the rhythm based stuff. You can play it without it completely. Like all your attacks will land normally, your combos, but you get those big crushing hits if you line all your combos up on the beat. And it's pretty cool when it comes together. It's pretty cool.
I mean, if you don't care about the rankings of getting an S rank, you can kind of almost disregard the rhythm aspect when it comes to battle and just enjoy it for what it is, and it'll still be a very good game.
You do have progression through it too, because you'll get essentially currency and ships, and you put them into extra abilities for your companions that can jump in, and it has like this Metroidvania vibe to it, because there are certain parts you can't go to until you get your companions that can break through things or go past obstacles, and there's all kinds of stuff to buy and level up in the game too. So there's a lot going on there. They said this has been in development, or at least it was conceptualized in 2017. So this isn't something that just popped up last year. They've been at least thinking about it for a while, and that's interesting coming from Tango. I would not have expected this from the people who made Evil Within.
It's so good. I'm like the biggest Evil Within simp, but I'm like, man, I hope we get a fucking Hi-Fi Rush too.
Yeah, this has to become a franchise.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah, that's a good new IP for Microsoft. What I would do is I'd back the Brinks truck up now to Tango.
Yeah.
Be like, what else you got? What other characters are you thinking of? What franchises would you like to make? Because they got some creativity over there.
This is like exactly the type of game that people were, like we were discussing a week ago, where people saying, oh, you know, the AAA sphere is becoming so redundant. We need something original. We need new ideas. And here comes Tango with Hi-Fi Rush. This is exactly what people have asked for.
You know what this feels like, Nate? This feels like a game that would have come out of Sony Japan Studios.
It feels like a Sony Japan, even a Nintendo studio.
Yeah, this would have fit in fine on a Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah.
Yes, without question.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, cool. This looks good. On Xbox, it's like,
cool.
Really?
Like this came from a Microsoft-owned studio. Wait a minute, Tango made this. The guys behind The Evil Within. What? And Ghostwire Tokyo. Wait a second, and then you play it, and everything just hits.
It's very good.
It was so funny though. A lot of people, when you said that with it feels like it would come out from like Nintendo Record Gravity Rush. See a lot of people that were like, oh yeah, kitty. This not. Oh, now it's great. Oh, now it's great art style. Now no more kitty. It's not. That's not a problem now. Now it's fantastic. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about certain people. Okay, certain people. Will not name any names, but certain people. Kitty this, kitty that. Oh no. Oh my God, great game best. Oh my God, we got colors, vibrancy. Oh, this game is fantastic.
I mean, that's like the color and the vibrancy. It's right from that GameCube, Dreamcast, PS2 era of gaming.
It is. It is.
From the golden era, and it's just great. And I know you're going to bring this up. Had the Xbox controller had haptic feedback?
Yes.
Just to go with the beat, have the controller serve as the metronome.
It wants to the whole time. It wants to, but it's so limited with the basic rumble it has, and it can't quite do it. But it tries. I'll give it that. The little controller tries.
Yeah. It would have elevated it to a whole new level if the controller had the haptic metronome going on.
Or what if there was a speaker on the controller?
Right.
Even that. Can you?
I'm telling you. Really good.
If it had the speaker with that rumble type feature as you're playing it in the boss battle sequences, you'd just be taken back by the feedback. Like, wow.
Microsoft, you gotta get on it.
But if they'll do that with the DualSense Edge, so it'll be like a 35-minute battery life because the speaker will drain the battery.
Okay, prediction. Xbox Super Pro controller E3 this year. It's happening.
They have an Elite. Apparently, there's an Elite 3 that's in the works, and
Super Elite.
There are some extra features that they were talking about. I think haptics might have been one of them, but you still have to account for the basic control.
Yeah,
That's not
fragmented things now because you got not even half your audience. You got like 1/8 of your audience, for example, that wants haptics because they have a fancy controller, and everyone else just has a basic controller. So I feel like they need to kind of get to the next version of their hardware in order to introduce haptics. But they could. I mean, I know Phil's.
Is that a whole other development process? Getting the haptics synced up and programmed and designed for your game. It is okay.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not that complicated. Like I did the haptics for.
I remember you said that for Quake, right? Yeah.
And like it's not like super complicated, but there's definitely work that you need to do. So what we did was I added haptics to the controller, and I also routed the audio, like low frequency audio. So when you like shoot the shotgun or the rocket launch, whatever, it makes kind of a rumble in your hand as well along with the haptics. Mm-hmm. But like the actual development time to add haptics, it's not really that much work. But I will say that you can get it, you can add them in pretty quickly, but making it feel right requires a lot of other people to kind of play test it and be like, does this feel good to you? And kind of do some A/B testing. Because I remember when we were doing Quake, there were a lot of people that I wanted that tested it out to see how it felt, and some people really liked it. And a lot of people I don't like this effect, and I'm going to turn it off. And I think that's a personal preference. I know personally for me, sometimes some games that have haptics are so annoying that I gotta turn them off.
Yeah.
But it's really more about how it feels to the player more than how long it takes to make. It's pretty easy to add haptics to the controller.
Okay.
What you're doing.
Okay. But the shadow drop for Hi-Fi Rush, good move.
I think yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was bold,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it showed the level of confidence they had in this release.
Yeah, it definitely surprised a lot of people because it was being built up like it was going to be this big title maybe a couple months from now or something. Oh no, it's out now, and the polish around the game it makes no sense for just shadow dropping because it is very polished.
The level of production in the game is top notch.
Yeah, so apparently, according to Phil Spencer, it was Tango's idea to do it to shadow drop the thing. So
Game Pass before Bethesda's stuff was going
Yeah.
to Game Pass, and he's like, we were just working on it as this great secret game, and then Game Pass came along, and that's when they got the idea of like, let's just drop it, let's just finish it and drop it.
yeah, so I guess the good thing is that if people can, if they see it, they like it, they can go download it or buy it right away. I guess one of the cons is you don't have any reviews at all ready to go, so you kind of have to wait to see people.
Yeah, it's okay to mix things up, to kind of turn the industry on its head sometimes, and not have a bunch of reviews ready to go that people spent like hours grinding out to get the review ready for
Sure.
embargo and stuff. So I welcome stuff like this when it happens. I think it's a really cool thing.
Well, this is a game that's reviewing well now, so that's one that if the reviews hit and it was like, oh, it's a 90, we'd be like, oh, okay.
We also have
check
like
this out.
today's day. We have instant reviewers. We have Twitch. We have Twitch and we have YouTube
That's
where you
true.
can just instantly go on there and get impressions. So that also, maybe it's not so good like 10, 15 years ago to do something like that, but yeah, in today's day, it's I agree. Like it's
I like the
it's
shadow
a little
drop.
scary for them. Yeah,
I like
it's probably a little scary for them though. They're probably like,
Right.
see how it works out,
Oh yeah. There's definitely that gamble involved in it. And now, I guess the only drawback from it being a shadow drop is now we have that uncertainty of will there eventually be a retail release? Because I would double dip and buy it if
Oh,
they
yeah.
come to retail.
Dude, if they drop a super deluxe edition, I'm buying the best edition of it.
I'm waiting. I wanted to go pick it up. I don't have Game Pass, but I don't mind paying $30 for the game. That's fine by me. But
well worth it.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna pay $30 for the game, I would have loved to pay give me $50. I'll pay $50 for a physical.
I think
I'll
that's
pay
a game, OJ, that would do really well for you on stream too.
Yeah, I bet absolutely. But I want a physical copy of the game.
Yeah, as long as you can keep the beat. You gotta keep the beat on stream.
Yeah, I would just like a physical copy. I'm not the biggest fan of just of buying digital. Like if I'm gonna spend $30, $40, $50, $60, whatever, I'd like to have a physical, have that option at least. So I hope there is one. I'm just holding out hope. Like if we don't hear anything in the next couple weeks or so, I'll probably just cave in and just get it.
If they could do a physical copy, they probably should include an 808 plush.
Yeah,
to get people in, because that cat has now resonated with everyone online because the internet loves cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
good.
funny.
Give me a still case. Give me the cat. Give me that. Give me a cat game that's actually good. It's really good.
The entire presentation came out to about 40 minutes. I think 40, a little more than that. So this I think went over pretty well. 5 different studios talked about games. They're about less than 10 minutes each, and it went, I think, way better than when they did Inside Xbox. That thing went on for 2 hours, and they did not talk about as much stuff as they did here. So, Developer Direct, does Microsoft have something here? Do we now have it figured out across the board? Nintendo with their Nintendo Direct, Sony with their State of Play, and now Microsoft with Developer Direct. We're good now going forward. Everyone has a show.
I think this is the tightest thing they've done. I think they've had reveals that got me more excited, or E3s that were bigger, but this was probably their tightest show where it was just all good for me.
Yeah.
It was well paced, it was well structured, where they let the developer talk about their game, showcase their game, and then, you ended it with the chalkboard type of fun moment of here's the release date, circle it, move on to the next project very quickly. Nothing overstayed its welcome. It was all very brisk, and it just kept moving.
I don't think we really need that stage, that live stage presence every time either. In fact, I think most of these companies should save that for something really meaningful, like a new console reveal or to start a new generation. That's when you actually get people together, like Nintendo did for the Switch, where it was all on stage and actual people were there and they were filming with the media there. That's I feel like when you should do that. Otherwise, the pre-recorded stuff where you let the people who make the games talk about the games, seem to work. So that's how I prefer them. And let's keep it to like 30 or 40 minutes. I don't think we need 2-hour inside Xboxes anymore.
Thank God, this structure blows away everything that they've ever done, like, by a large margin. I think that's not being said enough about how much better this show was. I don't even care if the games were better before the past. This is the structure. They just need to tighten things up a bit, but I'll take this over.
Yeah, but eventually we're going to see a showcase that has Fable, Perfect Dark.
Whoop, guys, time to delete Facebook.
This is a way better strategy to go about showing this, so...
Yeah, the format is better. It's direct and to the point. They're not trying to be all corny with people like live audience doing this with Greenberg or whatever his name is. Like, I'm just get rid of that shit. Like I'm so happy they just decided to ditch all that, which they kind of had to because all that stuff wasn't working before. I actually fell asleep during one of their presentations not too long ago. This one I was wide awake. I didn't use the gumball sleeping meme that I use usually. I have like a gumball sleeping meme. Didn't have to use the gumball. I was awake the whole time. It was good. It was to the point. Wasn't too long. I love this format. Good stuff to Microsoft this time, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. This is good. Looking forward to what else they have. They said they will be at E3. Go figure. So I assume Starfield presentation will be up next.
Guys, I've been streaming for 59 minutes. Holy crap. 1 hour? Holy crap.
It's at E3, so yeah.
He didn't. Did he say E3 or did he say June?
I think he just said June. I don't think he said
June.
E3.
Ooh, what's that mean?
I don't know.
He just make nothing.
Is it time for the receipts once? I feel like we've been here before, Nate. Have we been here before? I feel like we've been here before where you called me on something and then what did I do? I got the receipts. Like I'm looking at the receipts now at IGN.
Did they specify E3?
There were some questions about whether or not that would mean that Xbox would actually be at E3. That seems to be unclear. I'm wondering if you could give me a little clarity on that. Will Xbox be at E3? Do I read this next sentence? This is from Phil Spencer. We picked our time for our showcase specifically so that we're there. E3 is just to me one of the seminal moments of gaming. I love the history of going down to LA, thousands of people there, getting to see great new things, getting to see people in the industry, the fan favorites we've had. I definitely want to continue. Xbox is on the board of the ESA, and we'll be there.
Yeah, that sounds a lot of marketing speak.
That was a prepared statement.
As I said, we're on board. We want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help make the E3 successful. The E3?
The 3.
The E3. Anyway, you'll be there. Nate's 0-2.
Why don't we let June come around first?
E3 is gonna be in June.
Okay. Let's see if Microsoft's at E3.
They'll be across the street at their...
That's not E3.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on.
So what's
E3
the
is
limit?
a very specific thing. That's like saying that
so
there's
are
Summer
we-
Game Fest because they had an event during Jeff Keighley's month of claiming.
So are we saying Microsoft wouldn't buy a booth at E3, but would do their thing across the street during E3? Is that what you're saying, Nate? That's what we're aiming for with Microsoft not being at E3?
Well, depending on how you want to take Phil Spencer's statement, them being at E3 could just be we're having business meetings. So if there's no booth at E3, would you then say Phil Spencer lied in January?
If there's no booth at E3? I mean,
They don't have a playable booth at the LA Convention Center. Would you say Phil lied?
I think that you can buy an E3 pass and go see whatever Xbox is doing. That's the stipulation I'm saying.
they're gonna be at E3.
Guys, I'm drinking another Diet Coke. Holy crap.
Proximity. They're at the convention center with a booth or you're not.
Were they at the convention center with a booth last time?
When was that, like 6 years ago?
E3 hasn't existed for 2 years.
The last time E3 happened, did they have a booth there?
Was, what, 2019?
2021 or something. When was that? 29? No, when was that? When was the last in-person E3?
2019, I was there.
4 years ago?
Did you see Xbox there?
Yeah, that was it.
Mr. Xbox was on the floor.
That was the year where they were like Terminator and everything. They had Terminator for Gears of War, and Terminator for
Oh yeah, that was
Oh yeah,
weird.
they had the
It was that and
they had the
RoboCop,
Terminator
right?
on the stage and stuff.
Nintendo had Luigi's Mansion 3. They had Link's Awakening. They had Astral Chain. Maybe that was the year before Astral Chain. But yeah, Nintendo was there too. But that was the last in-person one that they
Yeah, I mean that was the last pre-pandemic E3.
They were still calling it Project Scarlet then? For Xbox? Jeez.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at that now. I looked up the floor plans. I don't think Nate needs that too. Alright.
We'll revisit it in June. If they're not there, we'll play back the tape.
Ominous Nate.
What episode is this? This is, what's today?
I'm
What's
writing it
today?
303.
The 28th. Nate's not having a good run recently, so.
So the stipulation is if they do not have a booth,
I want
Are you
everyone
gonna
to
base
know.
We gotta make this spicy
everyone
stuff.
needs
Oh,
to know
face
right
reveal.
now.
Nate, face reveal if they're
Agreed.
there.
Nate's
why
not.
do I win if they're not there?
You get your dick sucked.
Nate's not been having
Max
a good
is offering,
run
I guess.
recently. So he's posted pictures of Geno Smith and Dak Prescott in back-to-back weeks for the 49ers. And guess what he did 2 or 3 days ago? He posted a picture of
Whoa.
Jalen Hurts. So I'm sorry if the Eagles lose, it's Nate's fault. Okay, everyone can find Nate. It's his fault.
Funny enough, Geno Smith's the most prolific passing quarterback out of those three. Funny enough.
Is that funny? I don't know what that means.
Just saying. Geno had the
He
most
threw a ball
touchdowns.
good.
He's the most prolific passing quarterback out of those three. He is. He just flat out is. He had 4,000 yards this season, Pro Bowl.
He plays millionaire catch better than the other millionaires.
Oh, he's getting a big payday this year. He's getting a big payday this upcoming year.
And then we have Discord questions over there.
After the Xbox show, I thought about checking out ESO until I discovered it is not on PC Game Pass. Why do you think that Microsoft has not added it to that part of Game Pass Ultimate?
Wait, what haven't they added?
Elder Scrolls on.
Oh, really?
That's weird.
Oh, I'm not sure. So,
mean,
they
I-
have some weird stuff between the two of them.
I feel it's a lot of contractual agreements and things.
That's interesting. I'm not sure why. I feel like if I was more in Elder Scrolls Online, I'd know. You have another one, Evan?
Was wondering if MDG had thoughts on the excuses for bad performance in DRM in Atomic Heart. Apparently it was a quote claiming that DLSS will get back the lost frame rates for DRM. It was something they posted up.
I don't really know anything about it, so it's hard for me to say anything. But in general, I know Denuvo, assuming that's what it is. It's never been proven, but there's always these suspicions that DRM fucks with frame rates because it uses uses processing power. But aside from that, I can't really say. So no, about that situation. I mean, a couple of years ago, I remember Capcom when they did Village on PC, it ran like absolutely terrible. And then they removed Denuvo or something, and then it kind
Doom
of
did
fixed
that
itself.
too, right? Doom had a DRM that ran like shit, and then they patched it out and it ran perfectly.
How does Denuvo keep pretending like they don't affect performance? They constantly say that in their press releases and on their website. That we have so many case studies of Denuvo being removed from a PC release, and all of a sudden it jumps 20 frames per second for everyone. It's like I don't get it.
Was it Batman? Wasn't there like a big release a couple years ago where it ran really bad and then people cracked it and the hacked version ran really good?
Well, there were some releases where it was simultaneous between I think GVG or something, where they didn't have the built-in DRM, but then the other versions did, and then the DRM was.
Well, we've had
running
releases. We've had big releases where it got pirated like 24 hours later, and they unlocked Denuvo and removed it. So the people who illegally got the game were getting a better experience than the people who paid money for it.
That's so goofy.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
What a time.
Well, the point about Denuvo is like you buy it for maybe like the first 6 months or something because you want to maximize sales, and after that, you just kind of take it away because the game probably ends up on GOG anyway at that point, or no one's buying that game unless it's on a Steam discount at that point.
We can go over to some of the super chats. Jeff D says Eagles. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Matthew says shout out to Pizza Tower, just released on Steam. I have not played Pizza Tower.
There's good things about Pizza Tower. Honestly.
Oh, okay. T-Joe says, pour one out to PC players without an Xbox like myself who felt misled when Microsoft said 007 was coming to Xbox Game Pass, but it didn't. Why is that? Oh, it's not on PC.
Oh, I know why. Because they don't want people modding it and hacking it and extracting the ROM out of it and all that stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
That means, that means, you know, that they don't control it. So that's why it's not on PC.
It's a very touchy release. Wow. Travis with the little bird sticker. Thanks, Travis. Joe says, thoughts on Xenoblade Warriors Holiday 2023 rumor?
It's not a real rumor.
It's not a real rumor.
It's not a real thing. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll play the game for 10 hours straight or something stupid. But like,
Xenoblade Warriors, that kind of makes sense though if they want to do a Warriors game for it. That's kind of
they're not though. That's the thing.
It'd be cool if they did.
It'd be cool if they did, but they're not. I'd be shocked if there was a Xeno Warriors. I would literally be shocked. I don't think there is.
T-Joe says, how do you guys feel about PS5 games that aren't graphically demanding and can run at 60 FPS but run at 30 FPS instead? Neptunia does this. Less powerful PCs run it at 60. I'm not really sure why that happens, but it does, where games just don't look very good in general, or like it should be able to handle it, but then it's just capped at 30. So it's always a word, but it's frustrating when it happens.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. Well, I always hate when they say, even when it does look good, I hate when they're like, well, ray tracing is important, so we have to make it run at 30 FPS. It's like, well, I'd rather it be 60 FPS and not have ray tracing.
You know what's interesting about this generation? I don't really see a lot of people calling for ray tracing or pointing it out as much. Like people just don't. Ray tracing just didn't hit. I think like NVIDIA and AMD were hoping, because they're the ones who are going to provide the technology and sell the video cards that'll basically profit off the idea of ray tracing. But I don't. Whenever I go in, I don't go, oh, where's the ray? Gotta turn the ray tracing on. It's never really thought about it.
It's just one of those extra features that you get that a lot of studios don't really even bother with. You know, and ray tracing this generation, well, I think it's cool when they have it. Sometimes, you know, there are some games that actually do look quite good with ray tracing on. But honestly, I mean, the amount of performance that it eats up just isn't worth it. It's just really not worth it at the end
More
of the day.
interested in it for the audio experience, because they kept talking about the whole bouncing audio off and stuff, which is kind of a cool idea.
The graphics in Dead Space are so good that it like trips my brain up when you're like in a foggy room and you'll see a puddle at the bottom of a layer of fog and it will like reflect the light off the surface of it. So it's like, it makes me think like, and I don't think that's ray tracing. I played on performance mode, so it's like, all right, graphics are good enough. Just keep frame rate as high as possible.
Dr. Wolfstar says OJ has never been more correct in his life. Nobody says, are we letting Forza get away with continuing to use those horrible old car models like the R32 and S15, not to mention the Forza Aero Wing again? People were mentioning the car models because I guess they were some were reused or whatnot.
Yeah.
But
How many games is this number? This is 8, right? Forza 8. Technically,
it would be Forza 8, yeah.
I mean, come on. There's going to be some copy paste going on. Yeah.
My thing is, car games in general just look ridiculous. Like, even, I know people were, like, destroying Gran Turismo at one point for its visuals. I'm like, really?
They look amazing.
Maybe it's just car games just in general. I feel like we're getting that limit of, we've talked about diminishing returns, like, we're like at the roof for car games. Like, I guess the environments around the cars now is the next focus, the crowds. I don't know. Cars just in general now, car games don't look great, so it's tough, I think, to get it much better. So I guess ray tracing. There you go.
Focus on the crowds now. Gotta fix those models.
Yeah, right.
The Nintendo 64 characters like this.
I need ray tracing on the models that I'm driving past at 130 miles an hour.
I want to see the fear in their eyes. My car flips into the crowd.
Drifting an inch from them, it's like I want to feel them cry on my hood.
Liam says, when do you think GoldenEye will be delisted? Probably like next year or something.
Like a week
I
or
don't think
two.
it's that early. I don't think it's that. When
It's
NSO
probably like 5 years or something, yeah.
Well, end of the generation.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Well, hold on. The NSO, the account's going to carry over. It's going to be on the next one. They're going to take that game away from us?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, they probably will. Zbat says, yo, OJ, big fan here. Great video on controllers today. I don't know. There's a great video on controllers today.
that means not today.
Well, you watched it today.
Bro, what? I'm so pissed. There's literal porn on.
With wages and
Oh my fucking god, dude, bro.
responsible use 5
Shit, man.
and 100.
There's literal porn on here.
I don't know. I think you're responsible to use the stars.
Oh my freaking
Sort
god.
of been moving away from that because of the backlash, haven't they?
For
I like the
Metacritic.
stars. I don't like the star system. I don't like 1 out of 5.
What the
stars.
frick?
I'm not a fan. If you're gonna use a rating,
I also don't know if reviewers should feel responsible for people working on games not getting paid. I think that's more on the company.
Yeah, it is weird. I will say it is kind of strange to link pay to a website like Metacritic. It's that's I mean it's what happens, but it's just weird that it happens. SLM says, Max, any update on the copyright strike on the video?
It got removed. It was a mistake. In my video was kind of blowing up. I used a picture in my review of the DualSense Edge where somebody at a repair shop guy in Australia had disassembled it and showed that the controller battery is actually smaller. I didn't credit him by accident. I just was editing the video fast, and he copyrighted me to get me to source him, but it's totally cleared up. It was just an accident.
There you go. Reese says, hey OJ, how about them Cowboys? JK, congrats, man, you got us. Love what y'all do. Need more positivity in games these days. Love the show. Keep it up.
still got the Cowboys was great, but I'm not really celebrating that too much because we already beat their ass last year with Jimmy Garoppolo, so I knew they were going to win this year. But the big thing is the Eagles. That's the thing. And then even if you beat the Eagles, you still got to either face Burrow or Mahomes. So it's not like, I mean, Niners is about winning championships. I've seen the Niners win multiple championships. And that's cool winning playoff games, but I want a Super Bowl. You know, so.
The Eagles are very good. Eagles are very good. Zbat says, hey OJ, big fan here. RPG controller Victory Rush logo. Then David says, with the success of Game Pass and Series S, are physical copies for the Xbox worth collecting, or will things like the 70 megabyte Modern Warfare 2 disc make it pointless? I think that was the series ones, like they're actually putting those on the disc now, right? Like before it was weird because you would download the optimized version, because MVG did a whole 2-part series on that. Max, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I've stopped collecting physical Xbox games just because I get everything on Game Pass or I get a review code. So I feel like I have not bought a physical Xbox game since Gears 4.
It seems like they're not going to have value, but who knows? Who knows what happens in the future? You know?
Hey, I'd pick up any JRPG physically on the Xbox that you can.
Yeah.
It's true,
Maybe
actually.
some of those, but I don't know. We'll see.
You get yourself Soul Hackers. Get yourself like a Final Fantasy 12.
Crisis Core, get that.
Crisis Core, yeah, it's a good one. Get that. Just start loading up on the JRPGs for Xbox if you can get them physically. Yeah, keep them sealed. Reese says, Hi-Fi Rush is Microsoft's best game in years. Hope they keep this energy up going forward.
Only game in years.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, they have Pentiment, right, Nate? Nate, you gotta support
They
Pentiment.
did that Pentiment, which is up for a Game of the Year.
Man, it's been their only. They haven't had much.
Shadow drops only. That's their new thing. Shadow drops.
Apparently, they should have shadow dropped Pentiment.
That's what's going to come for you, okay. Holt's coming for you.
Just donate when you do, please.
They will. I will say, I think Hi-Fi Rush is one of the most exciting releases Microsoft's had in a long time. Like Halo was probably the last big exciting release that they had. So Hi-Fi Rush is like, to me, it was a big pop for Xbox. So Bad Gamer says, did anyone by chance see low-level Lemmy's video last week? He took the PT demo and ported to PC, Android, and iOS, made them public as well.
No, that's
I did not
awesome.
see that. That is pretty cool, though. I did not know you could do that. Huh. Okay, we will I'll look into that. That's interesting. Played on iOS and Android? Huh. Let's see. Shinru says Dead Space remake is worth the full $70. All right, let's actually move into some Dead Space talk here, because Dead Space is out. I was hoping Jordan would be able to make it for the podcast, because I know he's a big Dead Space fan. I've got a chance to play 3 or 4 hours of it so far, because they did this weird thing where they didn't release the game until 11 a.m. on Friday. Why? Why I didn't play that horror game at midnight? That'd have been real strange. But 11 a.m. they released it, and then I still didn't even get a chance to play it then until like Friday night. So I got a chance to play it last night mostly with the DualSense Edge controller. That's what I tested the controller with. But it is out now. I've played it. Nate, you played Dead Space?
Yeah.
Nate played Dead Space. MG played some of it.
Yeah, I'm on chapter 5 right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Max played through it and all of that.
20 hours, so I'm almost done with my second playthrough.
It is currently sitting at, is it an 89 still on Metacritic? Or did it fall again to like 88? I think it's at an 89 still. So it's right out of the gate, it's one of the highest rated games of the year already. That's kind of 89, yeah. Okay, that's a 58 reviews. So,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
just about locked in.
Fucking-
So, exactly as I expected. That
I'm gonna
Dead Space
kill
was gonna go
myself.
with Callisto Protocol, despite
God.
Sean's best efforts to tell me that Dead Space was going to come out and people were going to realize what it's been all along. This
You
terrible
know
big
what?
tech-
Freak you,
I sat there and I
fucking
said, "All right."
asshole.
How does that happen? What are you, drunk?
This is fan fiction.
Like, he lays in bed and imagines these narratives. I mean, what do you do? Write them down like a little notebook next to you?
I heard an insult on Twitter once that said, "Stop imagining conversations in the shower, you bitch." And I was like, that's probably one of my favorite insults.
Sits there on the top like, what can I make up tomorrow night?
You guys are entertaining. I'm just enjoying watching.
It's so good. I'm blown away, man. I'm on my second playthrough now. I'm doing the plasma cut
How
run.
the fuck?
Use the default gun. And,
Literal
I'm trying to do every side quest.
fucking
There's
porn.
so much new lore. There's so much new writing. There's so many new side quests.
Literal
It's gotta be
fucking
one of the best
porn.
remakes of any game's ever, flat out.
God damn.
I'm scrolling for receipts right now, Nate. Carry on.
I
I know it, Nate.
Jesus
typed. I know it,
Christ.
typed. There's a lot of scrolling involved, though. You basically it came down to me just slapping up Callisto and you desperately trying to defend it with Dead Space's corpse.
You wanna defend the use of VRS in Dead Space and how it completely models textures and makes them look abysmal?
They're patching it. It came out
On
today.
PC, they're patching it. They specified the PC version that they'll allow a toggle to remove it.
No, because Callisto Protocol looks definitely better than Dead Space.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
does.
It just does not play anywhere as good, and it's just not as good of a game.
Yeah, I platinumed Callisto Protocol a week before this came out, so it's very fresh in my mind, and this just plays a million times better.
Good thing they didn't come out after Dead Space.
I know.
They would have sold 0 copies.
They'd have been in trouble. Well, more so than they are now, apparently, which I will admit I can understand now, looking at Dead Space, how Callisto costs so much, because that Callisto is a very impressive looking game visually. They just seem to put all the money into that, because the rest of it, not as good. Dead Space still works. And I can see because I didn't really play the 360 version for probably a couple of years now, really. I thought about going back to it before the remake. I'm like, nah, I just want to jump back into it. Maybe it'll feel like a whole new game again. But you still realize and remember parts of it going through the remake. But man, when the lighting, the atmosphere they're able to build now, the sound, dude. When you have to go in and you gotta switch the power over, and the lights go out, and it's like, oh wow, okay, you can kind of tell how much more they're able to do with the newer technology and all this, just set the atmosphere and the mood. Because it's definitely a scarier game than Callisto. I will say that.
One of the things I really like, and I don't know if this happened in the first game, so someone tell me if it did. I don't remember this ever happening. When he foot stomps the monsters, there's different types of foot stomping he does depending on how like.
Jesus Christ, man.
He is. I don't know if
Bro.
he was a big time.
That was in the original to an extent, but it's much better now for
Freaking-
sure.
That really like that was
You
like a
know,
holy shit moment for me in this
idiot.
game. I was like, oh my god, like they're
Come
really
on,
putting a lot
man,
into
bro.
this. You know, as he's kind of more
Really?
freaked out, or if he's pissed off or something like that.
Bro,
like really
you gotta be
sometimes
shitting
he's kinda
me.
just-
And
The
people,
stomp is hilarious in this game. There's still they make it so like the whole screen kind of shakes when you stomp and all that. It is great, but there are a lot of little details in your plasma cutter.
This may be controversial, but hear me out. And how do we feel about the blood on the wall writing thing in video games in 2023? I feel like that whole trope is kind of aged.
Well,
It depends.
I would say it's 100% appropriate in Dead Space because the people are going crazy and they
Yeah.
think that this is like they're going to heaven. It's part of the
Right.
convergence, so it makes sense there. But yeah, you're right. In like Left 4 Dead, why would anybody be writing on the walls in blood? But
Like scavenge a permanent marker.
it's they ran out
Crayon,
of markers
damn it.
20 years ago. It's for the cheese. I don't know. I guess the game that I think I get more taken out by weird moments that don't make sense, like in Callisto Protocol, you go into a room that has all these guards' bodies hung up on meat hooks, and it's like, okay, if there are zombies, did the prisoners do this before the zombies got here, or did the zombies do like that stuff is what gets me out of it. I just think, man, this game, the new acting, now that Isaac actually talks and talks
yeah.
the whole game,
I was concerned
Totally
about that at
changed it.
first, where I'm like, and then it just worked. I don't know. It just
I love
flowed
it.
right into the game.
The Isaac speaking has been mixed for me because there's certain times where he reacts, and then there's other times where the people are getting massacred right in front of him, and he's silent.
That's true.
It's like watching people die. He's silent. It's like so you're not gonna react to that, but then something minor's gonna happen. It's like I can't believe this just happened. You just watch two people get shredded, and it's just yep.
Like he freaked out earlier in the game where the captain turns. Like he like lost his mind even afterwards. He was kind of like shaken up still. But you're right. In some of those parts where like a tendril gets shot through the glass and it impales the person into it, he's just like standing there.
It's like, damn, good
You
shot.
know, after I just saw it, I'd expect that. I'm just not gonna react to that.
That would have
It's
been a
little
cool moment though,
inconsistent.
where he like recoils backwards and is like, whoa, like so that would have been kind of neat to see that.
Yeah, it just seems like an odd inconsistency where they went that extra mile to add the voice acting, and then when these sequences come up, it's just like I'm not going to acknowledge those.
I noticed that because since I replayed the original game so recently, everybody is such a jerk to Isaac in the original game. They like yell orders at you, and in this one it's much more conversational. So like all the jerks in the original game are like so friendly now. I'm like, hey Isaac, can you fix that panel, buddy? It's pretty funny.
It does look, visually speaking though, it's very weird because there are times where I'm playing it and it looks great. I was like, wow, there's steam or smoke coming up from the ground and like the light hits it just right. This is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. But then if I go down an elevator and you're just zooming in on the suit, you can kind of see the pixels. It's very weird. Like there's this moment of where everything just looks incredibly soft. And maybe I don't know, Nate. You're saying VRS and all the picture quality. I'm playing performance mode. It does have this noticeable.
Yeah, it's
degradation.
It's caused by the VRS and it degrades
talk-
the image quality pretty
Where
substantially.
are you guys seeing this? Like, because I'm looking around for
I
this,
can
and
see
I'm
it
not
with
seeing
the
it.
suit.
To me, this game looks really good.
The suit specifically when I'm zoomed in on an MEG, and it's kind of like this
okay.
brown gold look versus the like you're just in the dark, and I'm going in front of me.
Yeah, if you look like around his wrist where he's holding the gun, it will look very off-putting. If you even just look at like a grate on the floor, just look right down, it looks very strange. Nothing that belongs on a PS5.
The only thing that looks really weird to me is when there's like 6 separate times where there's 2 characters face to face talking. When people get close to Isaac, both of them were kind of fuzzy. They almost look like a video screen where it's you
Shit,
can around
man.
them will look okay.
I don't know what to
I had my roommate
do.
come and watch it because I was like, "Am I crazy?" And his theory was that maybe it's like it is almost trying to run some sort of pre-rendered thing during that because the other character models you interact with are a bit weird looking.
I like the game though. It bring me back to the days of 2008, and it has New Game Plus already with an alternate ending. So I'm gonna play through it. Then I'm gonna go back through it again on the hardest difficulty. New Game Plus, get that alternate ending and all of this, and cross my fingers for Dead Space 2. We need the Dead Space 2 remake.
Hell yes.
This came out pretty good, I think. People are excited for it. They're saying it's one of the best remakes they've seen since RE2. I'm inclined to agree with them right now, so let's do what Capcom's doing with Resident Evil and keep rolling along with Dead Space. Then they can fix Dead Space 3.
I think the only thing I'm kind of curious about is what could you... I've played Dead Space 2 recently. That game is already pretty damn perfect.
Good. Yeah, that's why I'm like... But visually speaking, I guess they can do stuff. I don't know. They could probably go back and fix them. And let's be real, they can sell it again for $70.
Yeah. I put in more quests, redo the voice acting. I'd play it again. I'll buy it again.
What do you think the budget of this game was compared to Callisto?
Far
A
less.
fraction of Callisto.
Probably 1/5.
Minuscule. Yeah.
So they can potentially remake Dead Space 1, 2, and 3 for less than Callisto.
Jesus.
If they kept the budgets identical.
What was the budget for Callisto? It was like
268 million
168?
is what was quoted,
I
yes.
mean, most of that was paying off like these B-list actors to do mocap and stuff. Come on. I mean,
And the marketing.
yeah.
That was over 3 years.
Are you saying that the chick from The Boys is a B-lister? That's not.
I'm saying
That's
Josh
plus.
what's his name? Josh Duhamel, or his name is?
Josh Duhamel.
Duhamel, yeah.
His name is Jacob. Jacob the Space Trucker.
He's a B-list actor.
I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing in Dead Space so far. I'm gonna keep playing it. I still have a bit to go on it. So, good stuff from Dead Space though. Evan, we have Discord questions over there?
Yeah, I'll ask it and fix my camera. How long until Dead Space is on EA Play?
Isn't it? How long is that usually? It's a couple months, isn't it? Is Need for Speed on there yet?
No.
No, okay, and that came out in December, so we're in... Basically, count how long from the beginning of December until Need for Speed hits, and that'll tell you how long until Dead Space will hit it. I feel like I think it's half a year. Because the previous year Maddens always go in before the new Madden comes out. So that's like 8 months maybe that hits. But those games also depreciate faster than the others.
Bro, little freaking porn. I kid you freaking not. Little
Queue up next, or do you wait until you finish the current game to decide what?
like.
Well, what I do is my backlog on the Switch I go through because that's my system that I play when I'm on the treadmill. So that's like my treadmill system that I mostly play. So anything I have going, even if I'm not playing anything on the Switch that's current, I'll go back and do backlog stuff there. But for other systems, yeah, sometimes I'll queue up some shorter games just to go through them. Because if I get into a 50 or 60 hour RPG or something, then that's going to be the backlog game for a couple months. So
I just choose whatever I'm in the mood for. Like if I have platinumed a couple
Bro,
of
how can this
games,
shit
I'll
be
play a
on
racing
there?
game, or I'll play something bright and colorful. That's why I'm
Oh
really
my
glad
freaking
I'm
God.
trying 100% Hi-Fi Rush if I can, just because that game is so
Jeez.
bright and chipper. I think that's going to be my top of my to-do list for sure.
Okay, good stuff. We want to talk about Forspoken.
For example, this shit.
Let's see. Max played it. I played it.
Jesus.
OJ played it. OJ
Bro,
played it on stream.
little fucking porn, man.
The community consensus on this thing too.
I tried to play it on stream, barely worked, or the audio was all jacked up.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, the audio was all jacked up. We were trying to
Jesus,
figure it out. Sometimes
bro.
it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. I ended up just playing it offline.
Okay.
Because it seems like there's a bug with 5.1 audio. Like it needs
It's freaking stupid.
or sometimes
Guys, holy shit, guys. Hey, bro, it's freaking dumb as shit.
Same issue, and my users were doing live tech support for me while I was playing the game, trying to figure this out, going and seeing what other people were saying. So there was other streamers and other people that also had the same issue with audio with the game.
I'm confused about this game. So am I.
You know what? I guess I'm going to be positivity person here. I think the gameplay's fun. Maybe the story.
How long have I been streaming? An hour and 34 minutes. I'm gonna at least try to go for 3 hours.
For 70,
Like legit 3 hours of streaming is freaking awesome.
I picked this up and actually have a ton.
I have to plug my
I get all
phone
the
in.
glitches. I get all the performance and the stuff. That, like I get all that. But like I said, at its core, there's some really good ideas in the game. There's some fun gameplay to be had. It's just unfortunate that a lot of the other stuff surrounding it is not necessarily the best. And for a $70 release, I think that's where people are kind of going in on this game. If it was 50 or 40, I think people would think, oh, well, you know, they'd be more forgiving, you know, but it's a big PS5 hyped up release, so therefore it's going to get the weight of people, trolls, everyone kind of coming down on it, you know, so yeah, but I mean, I understand the complaints and stuff, but I do think that there is some fun to be had in the
Yeah.
game.
I beat it. It took 10 hours to beat the main campaign, and then I did another 5 hours of side quests. The game is very weird because the last 2 hours of the game is almost one long cutscene where you literally just walk in a straight line and keep pressing talk for 2 hours, pretty much, where they explain the whole plot, and then you fight the last boss. It feels very weird that they just backload the story that much. I do think the gameplay is pretty good.
I put it down. Like, I'm playing it
Fair.
So the thing I'm confused about, the parkour's still not very good for me.
Well, so which abilities do you have?
I just have like the standard running, jumping
So you-
ability
you
that
have
you
run
have.
and-
I
you
don't
have run
the
and
cool
wall kick,
surfing.
right?
Yeah, I don't have the cool surfing ability that I've seen people on Twitter have. When do you get the surfing ability? Is this Callisto Protocol from Square where the game is good at the end, but then it's the end?
No. Well, so halfway in that, one of my biggest problems with the game is that there's these big evil sorceresses, and you defeat them one by one. And once you do, you get new abilities for combat, and they're actually pretty fun. But you're locked out of entire skill trees. Once you defeat the water goddess of judgment, that's when you get the ability to surf. Towards the very end of the game, you get the ability to just super jump in place. It's like this green electricity that shoots you up in the sky. There's the grapple hook ability once you kill the fire priestess. That lets you like start to grapple those crystals and actually slingshot yourself around the maps. Like, that stuff is cool. My problem is that it's so spaced out. You get stuck with like the basic rock bullets for so many hours. Then you get the fire sword and you like that, and then you go to an area where everybody's immune to fire. I don't know. It's such a weird game. And then once you beat it, there's 30 hours of just end game quests, which are all the dungeons, the random stuff. It's very weird.
The structure's just jacked in this game. That's what makes it not good. You can throw aside the whole corny, that stuff's overblown, like whatever, you know. The structure of this game is inherently flawed from a troubled development process, it seems to me, because this structure is terrible. Like, this should have been a Devil May Cry style action game. That parkour stuff, but you can do that parkour stuff in an action game. So to me, they should have downsized it. They should have made it to where it was just an action game. I think that would have streamlined things a bit. Everything doesn't need to be open world. I know people say that a lot, but this is one of those games where it probably should have been open world. It probably should have been. There's no need. And I know it looks beautiful, but sometimes it doesn't, you know? Sometimes it's kind of like it doesn't. So, I mean, like
There's a lot of
said,
times where it doesn't.
yeah, I agree with a lot of the complaints and stuff, but like I said, for 70, not so much. But if you can get it cheaper, you know, later down the line, it might be worth something that you might check out, because there is some really, like Max said, there's some really cool combat parts, but dude, it's spaced out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you feel like you don't have, you know, there's not that constant progression, you know, that progression is not great. That's why I said if it was an action game and it was a little bit compressed a bit together, maybe a 10-hour, you know, just go linear, more like experience like that, I think that would have been better for the game, but, you know, whatever, they did what they did.
I think the buttons are kind of weird too in this, the configuration they have from the start, because they want you to mash R2 and L2 to do all your magic, and they want you to press circle to activate parkour, which means you take your thumb off of the jump button. So when I use when I use the DualSense Edge, I actually put the parkour part to one of the bumpers on the back so I could continue pressing jump, and it made it better. I was like, great, just cost $200. But
You know, I kept holding my controller like this. Right?
Yes,
Actually, I had to, that way I can press
The
circle
claw.
and the trigger, because you have to be able to look around.
Yes.
You have to be able to hit this is your dodge button, and then this is your main attack. So you have to hold your controller like a freaking lunatic.
yeah, so when I use the DualSense Edge, it actually made it better because of that back button, but it just seems weird that the configuration isn't that way necessarily. So I don't really think you even need the triggers to do a lot of the attacks. Like, I feel like they could have made it work with just regular buttons on the face. I don't know. It's the button configuration, the Luminous engine. It might be time to call it on this Luminous engine, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's an engine they couldn't even get to work on Nintendo's platform, allegedly. Like, there's obvious issues in Forspoken with visuals and frame rate, and this is like, people are saying this is the lowest resolution we've seen on the PS5 because of this engine. It's
FF15 at launch. I mean, that was enough for them to just say, all right, enough. Like, we're going to.
Well,
yeah,
They changed Kingdom
it's
Hearts.
all Unreal. It was they shifted to Unreal Engine.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Final Fantasy 7 remake, same thing apparently.
Yeah, shifted. Yeah, it might be. This might be. You retire this one, man. It might be.
It runs a lot at 720p, and it looks really weird. I think my biggest problem with the game, there's of course all the viral clips of her being cringy and self-aware and talking like a Marvel movie. My problem ended up not being that, but it was more of the fact that she does not care about the land of Athia. It's being consumed by this like evil fog that disintegrates you on a cellular level, and she is such a bitch to everybody. And I hate to be so disrespectful in my terminology, but people are like, please, God is immune to the light to save us, and she's like, whatever. It's like,
Tell me, how the freak is that shit allowed? Bro, just like YouTube, how the freak is that crap allowed? Literal links to porn and girls with their damn titties out. Bro, I just saw a girl freaking twerking. Like, tell me that's not sexual in any way.
Yeah, I am live.
Really cool person IRL.
oh yeah.
Can you always turn the light on though?
She seems very nice, but the translation to game here is.
Okay, let me see what I got today.
How is... By the way, say hi to Slick Gangsters, I'm streaming.
Oh, okay. You gonna see what I got today?
What did you get today?
You know how I have that TV over there to play like all my retro games?
Do you even know I'm streaming right now?
No, I didn't, but you know how I have that TV to play retro
Bro,
games?
that's weird because it says there's 2 people on my stream.
Oh, anyways, you know how there's like a TV right there, right?
Yeah?
Up today.
What?
I actually got, you know, you see that TV, you know how I play all my retro games on that
Yeah.
TV? I got like a little monitor today and I'm just playing Super Mario World on it.
Oh, is that a Panasonic?
what you call it.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, those are nostalgic.
Try something smaller with it. Really. Just see what
This is actually,
happens.
it's Grammy's old one.
I will say this.
Grammy, or my Grammy?
I put it in the.
Yeah. Alright, let me just unplug these and plug them back to my TV. But yeah, that was
Bro, but still, how is that shit allowed though? Like, it's just like freaking YouTube with like all these fine hot girls, 18 and up, click the link, you know? And like, bro, I literally, you know, obviously I took the screenshots on my photos and like, I like posted them back to Twitter and I doubt he'll respond. But you know how Elon Musk is like the CEO? I don't think he'll respond because I have to be verified. But like, what I did is like, I posted those screenshots to Twitter and said, and I posted, you know how you can like add people. And I basically said, add Elon Musk I basically said this is uncalled for, but I don't think it's he'll respond because you have to be verified, but it's worth a try. Like, that crap's disgusting. Why would that be allowed on a social media platform? That crap's disgusting. I don't understand. That crap's stupid. So, it's bullshit. Tate, are you even hearing what I'm saying? No, bro, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. No, bro, how are you listening? I said I tweeted at Elon. Now, I doubt he'll respond, but I tweeted at him and basically said, this crap's uncalled for. Like, I don't think he'll respond because you have to have a check mark, but still, it's worth a try. Because it really is uncalled for. Because it's shit that they allow that to go past that on Twitter and the feed. Freaking girls with their boobs out, freaking literal porn. It's bullcrap. So, like, Elon has to do something about that.
There are people here that if they went to go play Metroid Prime with a GameCube controller would find the controls to be very disjointed.
Nope, I just played it a couple weeks ago. Still holds up.
I would lock on and be like, look, there's a lock on button.
I think it would feel a little weird, but I feel like I'd acclimate very quickly.
I was playing on Xbox Series S with a Xbox controller.
See, there it is.
I'm waiting for this thing to drop the Metroid 64 game on the N64. I can't.
You know what? I think when they do Metroid Prime Remastered, they should just have the regular control, one stick. That's all.
They're obviously going to have gyro aiming and the features that the Metroid Prime...
Bro, does Madison know what the shit on Twitter is? Bro, it's literally... Does Madison know what the shit on Twitter is? It's bullcrap.
Just get the N64 controller.
I'm saying that if they had the one stick setup, you'd have people saying, oh my gosh, it's unplayable on the Switch because I don't know how to use my hands anymore. I'm old and arthritic at 37.
Gonna die at the first enemy.
I mean, he did die at the first guy. I mean, the first guy in the dam is like, he doesn't even move to anything. He shot him. It's like losing the...
I watched this video when I was running. I was listening, so I didn't see it.
That's great.
Yeah, he's running, like, spinning in a circle.
Guys, I just burped on stream. Holy shit.
That's great.
I don't care what. You should have had a 64 controller. You should have paid the extra money. He has one. Then he needs to shut down.
I mean, I cannot be the only one that notices those posts.
And then you want to play like Call of Duty? There was no Call of Duty back then. Play it like it was back then.
What's the solution to your problem? I refuse to use it. Why?
See, RJ is the most... I swear to God, Sean's gonna be in his hospital bed getting it checked up, trying to play Switch. He's gonna walk into the hospital bed like, play GoldenEye, you son of a bitch.
No, this dude was hyping up GoldenEye for months now. He's hyping up all GoldenEye.
OJ's gonna be like Vince McMahon in the hospital.
Yes! He walks in and starts beating on the bed.
Sean has an Nintendo 64 controller and he has an Xbox Series S. Neither of which he'll hook up and use.
What a weirdo. That's a L.
Interestingly enough, they're both valued at the same amount of money now.
He needs to play the game like the N64. I don't want any modern controls. No. You said N64 is the best. Play it like it was on the N64. No modern controls. No.
Oh man.
Troll J.
I can't believe Sean wasn't here for the GoldenEye stuff. He needs to get back here next week.
I was so upset.
He needs to get back here next week.
I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna email him tonight.
Tweet at him and then
I'm gonna email him.
I'm gonna like it.
Do we have another Discord question, Evan?
We do have a few left, yeah.
Okay, we can go through them, and I think we have some super chats here we can look into.
Due to being an internet service provider customer, would it be better for me to use Xfinity's modem, router, or should I get my own?
Oh gosh,
You're something
you
better
just
than
said Xfinity in general.
You're something better than
I'm
Xfinity.
sorry.
Go for it.
You had to go with Comcast as well. Welcome to the family, unfortunately. I mean, really, if you're wired in, it doesn't matter too much. But if you go wireless, you're trying to do Wi-Fi in your house, you might as well get a nice router so you can customize it and set it up how you need to. So it's fairly limited with what Comcast gives you. But if you just run Ethernet cables all over the place, what they have is probably fine. You may need a switcher so you can just connect more. But otherwise, it'll be okay.
Do you think Fire Emblem has stabilized itself as a core Nintendo IP?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Because Nintendo said it did in 2016. They said it's a major IP for them back then. So and that was with Fates. That was after Fates release. So yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah. We saw the sales for 3 Houses. Yeah. It's up there.
Quickly, I've been playing Engage. I'm on chapter 10 now. Oh my god, it's so good. Thank
good,
y'all.
right?
Yes, thank y'all for telling me. Like, seriously, I bought it because y'all hyped it up. Thank you.
I played it on the treadmill. It's a very good game.
It's so good.
Super fun.
If Naughty Dog does Last of Us Part 3, would they want to continue Abby and Lev's story, or continue with Ellie where she goes through depression?
That's a good question. I feel like they would still switch off between both stories, though. Like, they go back and forth like they did in the second one. I don't know, because I am curious about Abby and Nev's story, too. Oh, that's tough.
I think they're gonna they want to like end the story in a way. So
sure. I mean, you think that ended in a good way, or you think they just ended in like basically it's actually over for the planet Earth?
I think they want to try and give it a happy ending.
Okay.
Like just because honestly, everybody says that Last of Us Part 2 is the most depressing game of all time. I think they're taking that feedback and go, okay, maybe some sort of mildly happy ending would not be too terrible.
I don't mind going to different characters for the third one, having the conclusion, and then maybe you see Ellie in some sort of scene realizing everything's over and it's going back normal, and then Abby and Nev as well in some way, because then you could leave the door open for not like a part 3 like part 4, but you can go backwards and fill in the gap for their story if you just want to be honest, quick cash grab for them. Or DLC.
I think it's gonna alternate between Ellie and modern day, like old as hell, trying to figure out how to finally get the cure, and a super big flashback to those 20 years of Joel.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna show how much she turned into Joel, for better or for worse. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Isn't that kind of what The Last of Us Part 2 was for Ellie?
Yeah. But I think, honestly, I think that was the best part of the game. So I'm sort of fan fictioning here, but I would like a whole game of that.
For me, I want to see a different region of the world, how they're dealing with the pandemic and everything happening. Because as you said, like, oh, you can cure and go back to normal. The world, for them, what normal is the fungus. An outbreak. They don't know a world pre-outbreak. This is the normal, which how she's been living in Jackson is normal to her. So not living in that world would be almost shocking.
I feel like that story would be, we fixed it, but was it worth it kind of deal?
Yeah.
What we went through to get here.
Yeah,
I almost want to see a whole new cast in a different region dealing with the problem. Maybe America's in a different stage of other nations who are still struggling.
Well, you feel like there's probably someone else like Ellie out there in another part of the world, and maybe they have the whole moral thing again, but they just go through it. They just go that route. You think they did it, you know?
That's the communication that been cut off throughout the world, and maybe Europe found the person who was immune and they did sacrifice her, and you know, we don't know what Asia, Europe, all the other countries were operating during.
Well, and
we only know the Americans.
If you read all the notes in part 1, it does explicitly say that they found other immunes. So it seems like it's like a 1 in 10 million thing, but the other 10 million.
You know, I swear, if I see one more post that's like sexualized, I'm gonna die. Like Loki. It's cringe AF. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's crap.
The problem we're into, and I've had this with John, is his time zone is so far off from ours. It's
these grown women.
John Cartwright. So I mean, I would like to have him on for the podcast at some point, but it's tough because it was not 9 p.m. here is like
3 a.m. there.
3 a.m. there, so
Yeah,
3 or 4 a.m. It's tough.
Tell me, am I the only?
Yeah, he has a little.
Tell me, am I the only one?
I've tried to get on here before, and it's been rough.
Am I the only one that saw these posts?
We originally set up
Okay.
around his time, and it was at like some point in the afternoon for us, but then it was
Okay, so, bro, it's stupid. How the frick do they allow a link to hook up with girls on Twitter?
This drive is not compatible with the current PS5.
PS5 external.
That
The rumored SKU, and the rumor is that the disk drive that they would be selling.
I think,
But it was just any off-the-shelf USB.
and then you can't do it on PS5 right now.
Oh, you can only play PS4 games off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just exactly like the Xbox. You can play Xbox One games off it, but no PS5
Because the
games.
speeds
I think
expects
it's
SSD.
I think that's why he was asking. He's probably bringing up in the security aspect of it, but yeah, you do need faster speeds for
It
games.
expects the SSD, yeah. So it wouldn't necessarily work with mechanical drive, at least to what it's expecting, and I'm sure that can mess all kinds of stuff up in a game that's looking for that. So, is that all of them, Evan?
That's it.
Let me look here. We have Shot First saying Breath of Fire collection when, if ever.
Bro, oh my god, bro, Saturday night stream with the man, bro, it's on the homepage, holy crap. Bro, Tate, it's on the homepage, bro, holy crap.
Honestly, my room's a mess right now. I've been skipping the basement, so. Well, it's recording a video, so.
I don't understand how Twitter allows that.
Thanks.
It's crap. Bro, it says there's 2 people watching my stream, but it's crap because you say you're not even watching it. Bro, it says there's 2 people watching. Now you're what? You watching it? But still, like, how dumb is it? Like, how can that get past Twitter on the feed? You know? Like, I tweeted, you know how you can, like, add people? I don't think he would... Yeah, he only responds to people that are verified. But I just might as well, I thought, hey, I might as well tweet him about this because it's worth a try. Because maybe he'll do something about it. Tate. And I tweeted RTU too. Not that I think he'll ever respond, but I just did it for the sake of it. But of course, you know him. He'll probably say, because one of the photos I sent was a girl with gigantic titties. And of course, you know how he loves titties. So of course, you know him. He'll probably like say, oh, that's a girl with big tits. Like, am I the only one that sees those posts? I can be. They don't do anything about it. It's public. Why? It's public. Yeah, but I still don't get why I would show a little link to porn on, like, Twitter, bro. And, like, half of the people that, like, you know, the woman that, like, show their boobs and shit, like, bro, they don't even speak English. They're just freaking speak another language, and I can't freaking understand them. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying, too, it could also be, like a thing, like, a, sort of like a catfish. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like on those dating sites where, like, those people that, like, they, like, message you, so, you know, like, that one time on Instagram, I sent a photo of myself because I thought it was an actual girl from Cleveland. You know how I got catfish that time? Sort of like that. I still have that video on my old phone if I look for it.
It's on YouTube.
It is? Yeah. Bro, that's funny though, like low-key. I mean, I would say you want to play any Switch games, but in case you're wondering why I just have YouTube and Twitch, now you may say that's dumb. Well, bro, I know you're probably wondering that, but because weren't you the one to, like, say your mom was literally the one to say a couple days and they'll just have to reinstate our accounts? So doesn't it make sense how I just have YouTube and Twitch even though you think that's dumb? Because I'm just waiting for my games, you know?
Why do we treat fast food workers this way?
But there's no one behind us. If there was somebody behind us, we would pull up. There's no one behind us. And I already spoke to your DM, and he already said we don't have to pull up. You can call your district manager. He already knows that we don't have to pull up. It's your policy.
When you place a mobile order, we have to have time to make it.
Right, and y'all can go ahead and make it. There's no one behind us.
Well, we do because we have this timer.
No, I know how y'all's policies work.
We will pull you.
Call your boss. Call your district manager.
Call anybody.
Call your district manager. You call.
Pull to the front.
No, ma'am.
Call police. It's up to you.
Call the police on what?
I will because you're gonna move out.
You're gonna lose your job. I hope you know that.
What kind of freaking dork calls the district manager? Your employee's telling me I need to pull forward, and I don't want to. But here's the worst part. Not only did this turd threaten someone's job, he then uploaded the video to the internet himself, thinking everyone was going to agree with him. He then had to delete his TikTok account when, surprise, surprise, no one agreed with him. But here's the best part of this epic Dunkin' Donuts saga.
Do you really want to lose your job?
Hey, do what you gotta do. If you think you can control me having a job, then you go ahead. Why do we treat fast food workers this way?
But there's no one behind.
Saga.
Do you really want to lose your job?
Hey, do what you gotta do. If you think you can control me having a job, then you go ahead.
I just farted on stream.
How?
We gotta calm down, honey.
Okay, first of all. Second of all, I hope you have a lot of quarters, because you're gonna need to win him back. And just so you know, those claw machines are a ripoff. They're not accurate. You're going for one kid, you're gonna end up winning a completely different kid. Poor kid, yeah, I don't know how to him out. Like, this was years ago. For all I know, he's still in there. So, Alright, what do you... Spoon?
Bro, how many channels are live right now? Like, holy crap, it's insane. Bro, how many... Well, here's the fruit jar. I wonder. I don't know. Try to relax your anus, feet, Willie. Here's that shout out. How many subscribers does he have? Oh, that's cool, yes.
I'm sorry to impose upon you like this, but I'm in need of assistance, and I don't know what to do. My husband, Alaron, is missing.
Well, sitting here praying isn't going to get him back, I'm just saying, but at least now you're going to tell me hopefully I can help you. Alright, Alaron Locke.
It all started when Alaron became foolish and started gambling. He'd visit
Good way to get into
Luna
trouble.
every week and spend our hard-earned money on bets. I told him to stop, but he didn't listen. He was certain he could win us a fortune and move us somewhere nicer like the Imperial City. It didn't take long for Alaron to begin losing. He resorted to borrowing money from the user to pay his losses and place new bets. As you can imagine, it didn't pay off. He ended up owing around 500 gold. We could never have that kind of money to pay back.
So they kidnapped him and killed him? You have to think that's what they did. Like, what else did they do to him, right? Unless they sold him into indentured servitude or something somewhere.
Yesterday, the user, Curtin Grodragel, sent for my husband to meet him at the lonely Suta Lodge. He hasn't returned since. I fear his life. Curtin isn't known for his patience. Please, I'm not wealthy, but I'd give anything to see Alaron again.
I think we're gonna find him dead. I really get a bad feeling about this quest. Like, we're gonna find him dead. We're not gonna be able to really help her that much, right? It certainly doesn't sound very good.
Please be careful. I don't wish any harm to befall you either.
Don't worry about me, but we're gonna have a pretty big let's put it that way. Okay. Morrowind is for it. Morrowind is very, like I said, it seems like it's a different game. It's outdated. It's so old. It's like early 2000s, right? But again, this game came out around the same time, and you're right, like the Fallout games actually came out just after this. So they're all kind of in the same vein, right? So, yeah. Anyway, before we take off to look for this missing guy, which I'm really not feeling too good about, I think he's going to be dead, honestly. I got a very generous tip. So, this is a Apothe from the chat, A-P-O-T-H-E. Apothe, and I apologize, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. But it says, I wanted to send something, considering I've been watching your content for over a decade now, so cheers, bud. And the tip, get this, $62.01. That is a very generous contribution. Thank you very much. Let's play you a nice custom animation. Let's get you up on the leaderboard here. Alright? Where does that... Someone just said this person must eat Ferrero Rocher. Where do you get that? Where does that meme from? I want to know where that meme is from. The Ferrero Rocher meme. I want to know. Thank you so much. Thanks for going to get us all the way up to $83 in tips, which is tremendous. And that means the Gunner glasses have been earned. Thank you so much. Now we're only 17 bucks away from a hat for the rest of the stream. Awesome. Okay. Very nice. Okay, well, thank you so much. Kurt Russell, question mark, just did a super chat saying, "You're good to see that the people will show up to watch you play. Most of the people playing are boring. The videos get views." You say that, but then when I play other games too, like, for example, XCOM style games. I played them, no one cared. I played XCOM, I played Mario plus Rabbids, no one cared. Right? I've done those kind of playthroughs before, and the thing is, there's already established people who do them. You know what I'm saying? So people go to them. Those are the go-to gamers for that. I'm a variety guy, but no one's really going to me for this kind of specialized niche content. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you so much to Apathy, however you say your name, because I don't know. What a generous tip. Thank you so much. To Kurt Russell, thank you for the super chat. And then I just got a $2.50 tip. I am George Rockwell. I'm a huge fan. Do you enjoy minigames and RPGs or simple skill checks like Outer Worlds? I hate minigames. Like Mass Effect 2 is the worst offender. Too many minigames. I like variety. Minigames are fine as long as they don't overcome. Like, it's not the entirety of the game where every single time you do something, you do a minigame to do it. Then it gets, like, overwhelming. But I'm okay with minigames as long, again, as they're not too annoying or time-consuming. Okay? So thank you very much for the tip, George. And, alright, very nice. Now.
Farewell, and be careful. Curtain is not to be trusted.
Okay. We have to go see this orc usurer and see what happened to her husband, who's probably dead, right? He's gotta be dead. So where is this actually? Still in town? Still in town somewhere. Whoa! Seriously, I can't climb this. What the hell? I really can't climb this. There's like some giant mountains. Totally not. Oh, come on. Can you get up here? This is annoying. All the way down here. How dumb! There goes the frame rate again. It looks like it's chopping up again. How do you do? There we go. The Lonely Suitor's Lodge. There he is.
What's going on with you? I ran into some goblins in the woods not long ago. I avoid those things whenever I can. Horrible creatures. Bye.
Bye.
I'm Brovram Brogalash, your host at the Lonely Sugar Lodge. May not look like much outside, but that's just the weather revealed.
Oh, yes, of course. Words?
If you're looking to learn about conjuring creatures, you should try to speak.
Is this now who I'm talking to? Who am I talking to? This guy?
What's going on there?
I ran into some goblins in the woods not long ago. Nuts.
Who am I talking with? No one. I think they're upstairs. They are. Here they are. Herden Rodroggle.
Yeah, what do you want?
What do you want? Tell me what happened to Elrond now, you bitch.
None of your damn business.
Oh!
I'd tell you if I liked you, but I don't.
Yeah, how about I stab you?
None of your...
Gotta do this. Hates it. loves it. Really likes it.
Such that's just talk. My life is drab and wretched. But what nonsense. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's just talk. Such
Oh, please.
That's amazing. That's I don't talk such rot. I salute you. Yeah. What? You're wasting your breath. What nonsense. Sure. Oh, really?
Three, still going. Who's saying goodnight? Goodnight, Kagome, taking off. Alright, see you tomorrow. I've gotten good at this. I'm used to this now. I'm totally used to how this works.
Wait, don't try to manipulate me. Yeah?
Four.
How I am? Don't wait. That's it. Oh,
Disposition max.
alright. Maybe I'm
Okay.
maybe I don't. But since you're so interested,
What's up, Slayer?
good job.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what's that? And he says money, I'm just gonna stab him.
I just learned that a family heirloom, the axe of Dragola, which one of my stupid relatives is located on Fort Grief Island, Niven Bay.
Okay.
My informant tell me it's hidden in the main keep in the center. Don't know what's guarding it, but I'm sure you can handle
Well, I'm the protagonist, so.
it. Go there and bring it back to me. I'll tell you exactly where Aileron
You
is.
definitely think I can handle it if I can't. Who's going to you? This chopper here? What if I don't return it?
Then Aileron may not be coming home from his journey for a very long time. Like permanent. Whenever you're ready, and it better be soon. I'll have a boat waiting for you to get to Fort Grief Island.
Alright.
Time's.
So where's the boat?
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Fine. I have it waiting for you in the dock next to the magic shop.
Well, no fun.
Lucky I'm not making you swim.
Interesting. Interesting side quest we have to do here. Alright. Slayers, I'm enjoying Witcher 3. I'm near the end of the main story. Haven't really started the DLC yet. I did all the side missions, Witcher 3 contracts, and the main mission. Wow. Very nice. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. Everyone loves the game. I do too. Is that the boat? Oh god. Oh my nuts! Nuts first to the shoals. Oh. Always land on my tremendous comic pots. Oh. Problem says next time you go to the Imperial City, check out the arena. I haven't been to the Imperial City. I'm purposely not going there yet. Like I said, I feel like that's the last day, everyone. So we're halfway through tonight's Oblivion stream. Time is flying. It does not feel like I've been playing this for an hour with you guys. It doesn't. Time is like totally going so fast tonight. I don't know why. Maybe it's the coffee. But anyway, thanks for watching. We got a bunch of new quests unlocked. We're gonna do this one next and see what else we decide to do tonight. So thank you all for chilling. Now, a couple things. Number one, we're at 84 likes, guys. It would be great if we get 100 likes tonight. I try to get 100 likes on every stream I do for engagement purposes here on YouTube. If you could like this stream, if you're having a good time, considering we have almost 300 viewers, that would be amazing. Thank you for that. Of course, I'll do a little celebratory bubble blow if we do get 100 likes tonight. In addition, support is much appreciated. Thanks in particular to those who tipped. We are a mere $15 away from our tips goal to see a hat. I would love to wear a hat for you today. We hit the hat goal at the very tail end of the first stream today, which was a shame. There was no time to select a hat. I don't want to do that tonight. I'd like to give you guys time to vote in a poll on what hat you'd like to see. So if you're thinking of contributing via tipping, if you could do it soon, that would be amazing. So that way we can hit that goal and get that hat for the second hour. Okay, thank you in advance. In fact, as I was saying that, someone tipped $1. Was the scrub? Okay, thank you, Scrub. Thanks very much. Basically, Scrub said, his email. Check the email. Sounds good. I will check that out. Thank you, Scrub, for the $1 tip. Like this up to $86 in tips. Thank you, Scrub. Okay. When break? No breaks on the late streams, Arco. I don't take breaks on late streams. Only on the earlier streams. Because on the earlier streams, I do a podcast and a 3-hour gameplay segment. Here, I just do 2 hours of gameplay, so no real need for a break. But I will stretch my legs for a second. Slayer, we did get to the second memory world in One Piece today. Finally, we did it, and it's kind of interesting because one I didn't know about. So we're actually in a good part of the game. I can't wait to play it again in a couple of days. Mr. Bluesy says if someone tips $7, he will match the $7 in one of the tips. Here you go. Give me a second, guys. I just want to stand up and stretch my legs for a minute. Legs have been stretched. Okay. So, 94 likes to climbing with 100 bubbles time. $14 away from the tips gold again.
Guys, I just took a big old shit. Guys, I just took a big old shit.
Activate the boat. We're going to some fort for this quest. I've arrived at Fort Reef.
There's just one problem. Whenever he drinks coffee, he never sleeps at night.
Holy shit! It's almost like that's the function of coffee, to keep you awake. Actual idiot.
Today we're gonna stop him from drinking coffee. Wait, is he dipping the burger in coffee? We have to stop him now.
Yeah, that's a crime and a half. Subscribe so Zon can...
What happens when you spend the day at the world's most dangerous water park?
Literally nothing happens. Just don't be a fucking idiot and you won't die.
First, I tried finding the most normal and safe-looking side of the park, and smacked my head.
Your parents probably smacked your head around too. No wonder you fucking ended up like this.
I got in this tube and the lifeguard spun me down this giant slide, and I literally flew.
Is that a fucking banana peel? I'm not gonna question it.
Right when it couldn't get any worse, we attended the rolling hot dog. What's even the goal with this one?
Bro, I thought this place was dangerous. It's not dangerous. You're just being fucking stupid.
I'm not sure, but that's definitely not how you do it.
You've just got neutered on the hot dog.
And finally...
That was you. Subscriber close to a... Serious. Honestly, this motherfucker deserves it.
Oh, it's time for bedtime.
Get the fuck out of here.
Can I get...
Malice, you gotta cry? Because your fucking plushie fell on the floor? Pick it up, girl. You was lazy. You dropped a thing. Loser. It's mine now. This guy's probably the most annoying person ever. Ian's the type of guy to wipe his ass with a shower curtain. Annoying little sh... I forgot what the hell your name is, but you're a G. Thank you for beating his ass.
Can I get a snack?
I just made the worst decision of my life.
Oh my gosh, what'd you do? The first mistake I can see is your fucking shirt. That pink is nasty.
Let me explain. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, I've wanted a Lamborghini.
Really, dude, a Lamborghini? You saving 150 grand for a Lambo? Save up for a Bugatti for hell?
Anyways, yesterday my dreams finally came true and I paid for my dream car in cash.
At least you bought it in cash. Some of these motherfuckers be financing it and shit. Loser stuff.
Here's where it gets bad. I spent every last penny in my bank account to get this car.
Never mind, you're stupid.
I bought a new pair of white shoes.
And you bought some duty booty white vans? You should at least buy Air Forces like a good NPC.
And decided today was the day to show them all. But then, the unimaginable happened.
My shoes! Food waster? Yeah, get it, big boy! You're a food waster! Haha! Take that!
After trying to get them professionally cleaned and using thousands of dollars worth of machinery to try and clean the shoes,
why the hell did you bring them to a car wash? Soap and a washcloth, that's all you need.
it was time to move forward. So I got a new pair of white shoes. This
You saved my...
and I could barely breathe and had to be rushed to the hospital.
Do I have to repeat myself? Good!
But it's been 15 years. Am I still allergic? What happens if I eat a peanut now?
Shut the fuck up! Just eat the peanuts already!
Right when I opened the can, my eyes started to water and I began sneezing.
Achoo! Achoo! Shut the fuck up, little pixie.
I took a peanut, opened my mouth up, and put it in.
What's wrong, Brent? You gonna fucking cry now? Subscribe to me so I can pet...
So I saw online that McDonald's burgers lack...
Wait, audience, I... was that? Dude just did a fucking exo slide.
I had to get away quick, so I ran upstairs. And what do you know, they were right on my tail. So I locked myself in a room and finally, I'm safe.
Were these zombies like fucking Einstein? Would that mean the crawlers are Stephen Hawking?
I ended up running as far as I could to my car and slamming the door shut.
The graphics in this game are so real, I thought a real zombie apocalypse started.
Can bro stop grabbing his boobs? Fucking pervert.
Today I'm attempting something nobody has ever done. Playing PS5 on an airplane.
Nobody's done that because they're not stupid. If you bring a PS5 on a plane, you're gonna get fucking robbed.
After a ton of research, I found out video game consoles are banned on all airlines.
Wow, really? You can't play Call of Duty when a plane's going fucking loop-de-loop? That's so crazy, man.
I was devastated until I realized only one airplane seat in the world has the right plug to use a PS5. I knew what I had to do, but right away I ran into two very big problems. The plane ticket is $20,000.
You didn't buy the ticket, right? You didn't spend $20K for a YouTube short?
There's a very high chance I get caught taking it off, so I booked the ticket.
What the fuck are you doing?
Boarded the plane, sweating I would lose $20,000 in this video. It was the moment of truth. I sat down, set it all up, and plugged it in. Now, we see if it turns on. It worked! I even got to play my favorite game, Craft Mine.
Sure, bro, it works. When you just lost 20 grand. Actual idiot.
Today,
Zom! The floor is lava!
Was bro talking to the Lucky Charms? Bro was hearing voices in his head.
Where'd I go?
Holy shit, that was so funny. I got a fucking six-pack by laughing so hard.
Hey, floor's
Oh, just watch your head.
floor's lava. I'm safe.
You might be safe, but those Converses aren't fucking safe. Clean your shoes, they look like shit.
So if you can hold it for 3 seconds, everyone watching will press subscribe.
No, they won't. It's up to me, baby. Goofy fish.
Why doesn't anyone want to kiss me?
Because you're fucking ugly. Motherfucker, you got blue hair. You was a feminist or some shit? Ain't a woman gonna kiss you? Fuck out of here.
Maybe it's your shirt. Here, let me help. Oh.
Look at these desperate motherfuckers. You giving Aphmau way too much credit.
But she's beautiful.
Motherfucker, you probably look like this.
Why doesn't anyone want...
Aphmau, what the fuck are you doing? You looking emo as fuck. What a shitty version of Wednesday.
I'm gonna dance.
You're gonna shut the fuck up.
how many balloons does it take to make a human fly?
I don't know, man. How many? Not everybody weighs the same dump.
I don't know, but today we're gonna find out. Clearly, not one.
Well, yeah, no shit. One is not gonna work. Who thinks he's fucking Einstein?
And before we even finish hooking up the 200th balloon, this happened. Subscribe if you want me to try this outside.
Please do it outside. I would love to see you float out of the fucking...
I made some really crazy stuff using this extremely rare paint.
Wow, it's so rare I can buy it on fucking Amazon right now. Fucking liar.
But I've never done something as big as this. This paint turns anything, I mean anything, into a complete shadow.
Wow, really? It's almost like that's the function of the fucking paint.
I'm gonna name him Gerald. Look how cute he is. Subscribe to bring Gerald back to life. I had the worst birthday ever.
If I were you, I would hate my birthday too. I'll look in the mirror and see my fucking hunched shoulders, forward neck posture head. Of course I don't want to be you.
I woke up in a great mood, but when I went downstairs to eat breakfast, my mom didn't say anything to me.
Your mom. I don't see a fucking mom.
As the day went on, I heard nothing from my friends. Then suddenly, I got a notification. Come to your house. Maybe they did better after all. Preparing myself.
Why the hell are you walking like that? You're walking like you shit yourself. I mean, you're pounding your pants.
It was surprisingly quiet. Was it a surprise party?
No, it's not.
Motherfucker. I had the...
You fucking spurred. How you letting a girl scare the fuck out of you? You're a man, grow a fucking dick.
Can you hold it for me so I can kick it?
Of course.
You sound like you use a dildo as a toothbrush.
Of course.
Fuck off. Get fucked.
Want to see something neat?
No, Alex, I don't think I do. Show me something that'll restore my faith in humanity.
Santos cap.
No! No!
Listen here. I don't like you.
What the hell is this? It's an actual furry.
I am now going to bark you.
Bro, what the fuck shit is that?
Sick. This is my girlfriend. Yo, Fish Remy. I didn't know you got bitches. I mean, she's still a two, but like, okay.
And she's always wanted a hamster.
Why does she look like such a psycho? Motherfucker's built like Sophia the First. She thinks she a princess. She thinks she runs. I want a hamster. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck was that? Is your girlfriend a closeted furry? Fucking repulsive.
Finally, begin me.
Do you like that your girlfriend acts like a fucking toddler?
All right, Zoe, here's your hamster.
I don't know. I don't speak Ronaldo. Yo, bro, what the f? You're talking to me, a Portuguese boy. You can't be talking about the porky cheese. What the fuck is this sad shit? Topper, you about to waste some food again? Sometimes I look in her eyes and that's where I find a glimpse of us. Topper, just fucking stop. We know you're not being honest when you do this shit. You wouldn't be doing this if Falad got 50 million views on his TikTok. All you do is steal ideas. You fucking dishonest shit. Oh, ladies, what the fuck? Wait a second, that's Afmouth. The demon eyes, so scary. Fuck off. Ian, once again, shut up. Shut the fuck up, you goblin.
Oh my god.
Did bro just throw dynamite in her cereal? Is bro a part of man? Half-mouth, are you fucking stupid? You don't know the texture difference between Frosted Flakes and a fucking idiot. Okay, what the
Oh, God.
Ian, can you shut the hell up? I swear, every video you're like, shut up. Half-mouth, what did I just say? Ian's doing it, now you're doing the you sound like a fucking chip. Good, it fucking burnt.
Where's my spice?
Oh, dude, you're so funny. You made a cock out of peppers. Go fuck yourself.
Guys, it's very scary.
What the fuck is that? That creation is a throbbing asshole waiting to happen. You're so fucking nasty. I know this guy ain't got fucking hopes. Like, you're gonna watch this guy eat this and then say you're gonna kiss him? Fuck no. Anyways, I've seen enough bullshit today.
I'm sweating bricks right now.
Dude, go wipe your... And why are you even sweating? Did the post on clarity settle it?
I'm about to hang on my crush and I'm finally gonna make a move.
You're gonna make a move looking like that?
I even got her favorite drink and flowers to impress her until... I need a plan B.
No, you don't. Please give up.
I offered somebody $30 for their ice cream and they gave it to me. She seemed to really like it. I was even making her laugh.
Wait a second. She's your date? That girl is your date? This girl's cuter than Lexi. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna go for it. Wait, she's going for it too. Subscribe if I should try again.
No, give up. Everybody shut the fuck up. I have an announcement. So because I'm speed running 1 million subs, and we're gonna be reaching it very fucking soon, if you guys make this your profile picture, it will definitely speed up the process. And also, you should do it if you like Bob from Animal Crossing. It's a fucking win-win. Anyways, make this your profile picture, become a god amongst men. And yeah, we can litter the comment section with our stupid fucking face. Anyway... What the fuck is this music? It sounds like shit. Dude, what's with the fuck eye contact? Staring into my soul and shit. What the fuck do you want from me, scary bitch?
Dude, I'll talk into the phone and I'll buy you whatever you want for Christmas.
Holy shit. Copper's being a good boy? Somebody pinch me.
What's your name?
Alright, you win. Okay, now you can talk. What's your name? I'll buy you whatever you want. Topper, I don't know why you're doing this, but I would do it because shoddy. Whoa. Are you asking things? I don't know what to say besides yes, man. Topper, secure that girl. Yo.
Yes, can I say thank you? Sexy?
Bye. You fucking Riz guy. Everybody comment W Topper for once.
I found a way to get any girl's number.
Really, Jack? No way. You better tell your mama daddy's home.
First, I'm gonna show you how people normally raise up a girl.
You're gonna riz a girl.
I'm gonna show you how to raise a girl.
Shut the fuck up, Pixie. You ain't rizzing shit.
And then you a method that works every time.
Hey, I was wondering if I could just get your number.
No, I have a boyfriend. If you agree to the insurance.
See, you get no bitches. See what happens when you're not as fucking gorgeous as me?
Borrow your phone real quick to call my mom. She's somewhere over here and like our phones are dead.
Are you called Riz? Because to me you look like a dumb.
Who can I call my I've got a secret girlfriend that I've hidden from you guys this past year.
You've had a secret girlfriend this whole time? Yeah, you should keep her hidden.
I was eliminating the girls through a series of tests, with the first one being a smell test.
Okay, buddy, the room must smell like a fucking fish market.
Are you subscribed?
Quality woman, spray handsome. Oh my gosh. What the fuck is your hair? What the fuck, it looks like the Chicago Bulls logo. Fix your hair.
I did play Rise.
Apologize.
Xbox One. I did a full playthrough. sounds cringy, like they're voice acting for a play. I mean, yes, the older Bethesda games are all like this, by the way. All the way up to like probably Fallout 4, even Fallout 3 and New Vegas to some extent have that kind of more creepy voice act. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to take on the hunters. The Gorum with his head. Horns up the asshole. Ready now. You don't mess with me when I'm wearing this thing. Tell Jack. Anyway.
Bro, DSP, I'm watching him right now. He has a freaking Vikings hat on.
The Hunter's Abyss.
I'm dead serious too.